All right. Again, adventurers, and welcome to another exciting, possibly the final episode of Realms of the Wild. Yes, this is our open legend RPG game set in the weird, messed up version of the Breath of the Wild flavor of Hyrule. And the people below me are the people that will either be very happy about the amazing conclusion we made or will be plotting my death.
Why not both?
A lot of it will depend on the choices that people make. So
I've had 5 years. If you don't think I've already plotted your death,
just putting the planet.
then I don't think we're really friends at all.
Announcements. First things first. Just because Lex and Elias, you may have to help me out with this, but we never mentioned just how amazing and awesome the dev team is for ZU, and so I just wanted to bring up that there's some really awesome, amazing people that keep the website going and all the administration stuff. Like, they're really cool people. And Elias is having this really puzzled look. If you had been at the podcast meeting last night, you would know why I'm saying this. And it's 100% petty, but
you'll have to excuse me. I was playing another D&D game.
I was working.
No.
You can't come at me.
I was writing a cats presentation.
No, that was
But
weeks ago.
No, because I'm Lex Rosenberg.
Listen, did that get me somewhere? Possibly
I
in my
love this,
No,
career?
this Lex
literally.
doing.
Literally.
On the stream.
On the stream. I'm Lex Rosenberg.
There are 2 Lex Rosenbergs right
Oh,
Oh.
hey, Jody, can you
too.
change that? My thing isn't working.
yeah, no, that's perfectly fine.
somebody else changed their name. Well, it'll be like
Amazing.
Spartacus, but just
I'm
like
Spartacus.
When was this meeting?
I'm Spartacus. What if I was just Bane the whole episode?
Oh, you really adopted the Lex. I was born into it.
Let me go
Folded
find
by
alcohol.
it.
I need more Baileys in this coffee.
Hey,
Trader Joe's
Carrie,
actually has this really
because my
good.
brain is not working right now. Your last name has 2 L's, right?
About to ask her how
Yes.
to. Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
always have to Google her name. in order to spell it.
CALLAGHAN.
I just wanted to
Callaghan.
make sure.
And for
Ilea and
anyone
Kiri's
who
names. I
wasn't
always
sure,
have to Google them in order to put
You
their names in
pronounce the
right.
G in my last name. I am not, in fact, a Callahan.
I'm the only person
Though
in the
someone
world with my
argued that
name.
on the duet that
Well,
we did.
congratulations.
Me too.
I remember that and people being like, that was always that's weird when people argue with you about your own name pronunciation.
I
I'm
remember
like,
in one of the original promotional videos of
Are you Calicahan?
Callaghan.
of
Calicahan.
Kess, that was a thing, and I'm like, what the fuck, people? Get a life.
Anyway, other announcements. Yesterday, another episode of Hades Misguidance went up on the YouTube channel, so definitely check that out. And do we have there was a Nintendo Direct relatively recently, new trailer for Zelda Tears of the Kingdom came out. A bunch of people at ZU have given their thoughts on it. If you go to zeldauniverse.net, I will almost guarantee we have multiple articles now talking about Tears of the Kingdom stuff. So Jeff, definitely check all that stuff.
More importantly,
Also
during the
play-
Nintendo Direct, Metroid Prime Remastered was announced and launched.
I
It is now
was gonna
available for
actually
purchase
just say,
digitally and comes
And
out
you can get
physically
it
next week.
physically.
Everyone here should buy and play it. It is
I was
game,
just
it was
about
game
to
of the
say,
year in
please
please come
2002.
say. I was about to say, please buy Metroid Prime, and then
Remastered.
go get
Or the original.
and then go on to Nintendo Switch Online, and then play Metroid 2, and then when Metroid Fusion comes on the Game
Okay.
Boy Advance, part of the Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion pack, make sure you play that.
Metroid
There's
is
a
my favorite
dissertation
video
to
game
write.
series, but there is so little reason to play the original Metroid 2. When
One of
you
these
could play
days,
the
I will
remake
play a
instead.
Metroid game.
And
Facts. I'm
or,
literally on my knees
And
begging.
Elias will stop being disappointed in me.
or the Nintendo 3DS eShop closes soon. Make sure you get Metroid Samus Returns.
Another amazing game.
I haven't played Metroid since it was like regular Nintendo Jack, so I feel you there.
I
We
think
will-
I played
we
it
will
like
get you
once when my sister was playing it, and I'm like, I'm gonna go read a book.
To be very honest, all of Metroid that I have played has been because of Elias.
The only reason I have Metroid Dread here is because of Elias.
Elias bought it for
If
you.
anybody needs Metroid Prime, let me know.
Elias sent me the money to
the
buy it for myself because
plant
I'm an
boss.
independent person.
For the first time in Metroid Prime, where you roll and put the bombs and it explodes after you make the. I beat that.
To be
Nice.
fair, Ilya, that was the only way I could possibly gift it to you because I can't gift games directly.
No,
Otherwise,
I
I
have
definitely
a-
would have done that to remove your freedom of choice.
yeah, that feels like
Yeah,
something you would
that-
do.
You know, 100% that's something that Elias would do.
Alright, given that I'm not buying the remastered.
I also have a fun thing.
Cool.
Hey, check it out. Speaking of hydration,
You got
Uh,
yours?
yeah.
Yeah, talk to those people like every day. Come on.
Well, that's unfortunate. We have a water bottle now, so keep yourself hydrated. In the
I love how
the
he's covering the
nonsense-
logo with his nameplate. There we go.
Hey, look, I'm looking at the
It's
Zoom.
okay.
I'm not looking.
It's
at the
blurring out, so
Yeah,
it's
it's
gonna
blurring
blur.
out with your
Keep it in
background.
front of your keep it in
please.
front of your face.
There. Okay, God.
So if people wanted to purchase this, Lex, where might they do that? And might you
I'm
have a link you can
glad
put
you
in chat?
asked. I'm glad you asked. So we work with Job LLC. They are the people who are responsible for the Legends Cookbook. Which, speaking of that, actually,
Welcome
The
to
digital
Home
version
Zelda Shopping
of-
Channel.
their Im's Masquerade book, which is a recipe book that's all based on Majora's Mask. Is I think available for digital PDF. They also do stuff for Fire Emblem as well. I'm pulling the link right now for the water bottle, but it
So for the cookbook, do you have to like as you're changing the dishes, do you have to like change your masks as well?
it doesn't require it, but it's nice. They
Okay.
appreciate it if you do. You
Okay.
don't have to. Hold on, I'm
If
just
you
pulling.
cook all of the dishes, you eventually get a final Fierce Daddy dish
Oh.
that turns you into a white-haired
Gordon Ramsay.
superhuman. Yeah.
All right. So the
Here for this.
here is the link to the water bottle. We've done a couple things with them.
If
They
you
also
go
have
to
some great pins.
zeldauniverse.net/merchandise, you can see all
That's
of our
also a
merchandise
thing.
listed in one place.
And you could also get the normal Legends cookbook is great. But if you if you get the PDF at any point of the Masquerade, you'll see ZU thanked on there, and you'll also see my name and Mary's on there as well. And it's very cool, and they are very lovely people who have been helping us make some cool merch. And we've got a lot of stuff planned for merch, not just with them, but with other stuff. They also just revealed an Untitled Goose Game cookbook, so that's very cool. So you should check them out.
By the way, if you don't know, Mary is our social media head at ZU.
At
and she is
Mary
wonderful.
wants a cookie.
And she always wants cookies.
Don't blame her.
You giving
Very
her a
nice.
cookie?
her.
So, any other announcements, or can we
Sounds like
get
a
this
I don't
crazy
see-
train on the tracks?
I feel like I can
You
think of
can't-
at least an hour and a half worth
I
more
want
of
to
announcements if I try.
With
harder.
that being said, I
You
think it's
can't get
time
us on the
Stop.
rails if you didn't start
for
us
us
on the
to
rails.
return to the realms of the wild. And very quickly, Imp, since you are now officially done, can you give me a final total in chat so I can just give them out in one lump sum?
He
They
did.
gave
That'd
it
be very
already.
nice.
So everyone except
20 legend
Volta-
points
Yeah.
and 5 reroll tokens.
Except
Volta-
Zolta, who only gets
thank you.
rerolls.
because you have
Uh,
enough legend points.
I don't. I need 2 more to hit the goal.
Oh, for
And then I will use them all.
So everybody be quiet real quick. Everybody except Zulta, give yourself 20 legend points, and everybody take 5 reroll tokens.
Oh, only Kiri got 20. Everyone but Zolta got 10.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Refresh that. Kiri got 20, everyone else got 10. All right. That
No,
being
Jody,
said,
something happened to my legend points.
I feel like Imp favors Kiri for some reason. I don't know why.
what?
I-
In
Wild.
my in Imp's defense, I use them like a motherfucker.
Yeah. Notice
That-
everyone but Zolta
Okay.
gets all the legend points.
I never thought I'd see this for Iruna, but I'm almost running out of space to mark down legend points.
So now we return to the realms of the wild. Five and a half years ago, 4 people came together to discover what had caused Hyrule to split into 3 separate realms. Zulta, Kess, Pierre, and Iruna have been traveling around the world of Hyrule, transferring between realms, and have finally come to the point of their creation. Along the way, they picked up a shadow traveler, a Rel. And now they're starting to discover what truly caused this entire adventure to begin. They are at the height of the battle between the hero of the wilds and the embodiment of evil, Ganon. They have worked their way up to where the climactic battle took place, and when they got there, they discovered a pool of blood and a broken, fragmented shield, but no body. When they looked up, they saw a figure that some of them had seen before, but had never interacted with. And that is where we return. So, I think that is the wrong sound. Nope, that sounds right. So, where we last left off, you guys had come to kind of the pinnacle of the castle, where the final fight had taken place. You discovered a pool of blood, but no body. You looked up, and you saw a figure. And as the figure began to remove their mask, normally, this is where I would start describing what this character looks like. But I'm not a big fan of describing someone else's character. So, Elias, if you could transition for us. And I would like to welcome our final guest to the show.
I'm sorry, what?
May be somewhat familiar to some of you. We're just waiting
If
for
this
things
is
to work.
Dawn, I'm so pissed.
I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what?
If
Weird.
this is who, dude,
We're just waiting for things to work exactly the way they're supposed to.
What? What the fuck?
Hold, please. Zoom is updating.
Oh,
You guys see everything pause for a second as you see an updating.
life
line.
is buffering.
The
All
hood's
you
halfway
hear-
up and it just pauses in a spinning wheel over their face.
You just hear as it gets more scary and scary. Boom! The Windows
This is
XP sound.
hilarious, guys.
What the fuck is going on here?
Guys, I have been working on this for like 4 months at this point.
What in the name of
We
cinnamon
planned
toast
for
fuck?
everything but a Zoom update. It is amazing.
Who else could travel through the fucking worlds that we haven't run into again?
It's fucking Brayak. God damn it, Dawn.
Was it? I thought it was break or something.
I don't remember.
It's
No, it wasn't
Brayak.
Brayak.
It's Freya.
It's Brayak because it's a really cool name, and I've been really wanting to meet this character.
I haven't. This Dawn showed up here like 5 years. Like this
What
was
if
like
it's
in the
Steve?
first
What if
year.
it's Steve the Korok?
Honestly, would love
Yeah, I
that.
brought back Dan. You guys didn't know the reason that Dayon hasn't joined us again is that she's been plotting this entire time.
Wait, there's also who? Atticus and
Yep, you guys haven't seen Atticus in a while.
We haven't seen Atticus in a while,
who else? Was that
But-
it?
but we
All
have not.
people I don't
I-
know.
Here's my
And I
thing
didn't
of
get to
just
play
like
with Dave
this is
because
why
I was
think it's-
gone.
This is why I think it's Dawn. Is I'm just like, we never addressed that he was also able to travel through it. That seems very.
We asked
Do
him.
I have to kill Dawn now?
Maybe.
It was not the
It's gonna
first
put a
time.
big damper on like.
I
He
haven't
was
killed
very
Dawn
lovely
yet.
and invited me out to Dragon Con last time I saw him. That would be a
Oops.
big damper on that.
Being like, you tried to murder me.
But you know what? Maybe it's someone entirely that we're not even expecting.
Well, whomever it is, they find this absolutely hilarious. So
I'm angry.
I'm happy that this is still a surprise. It would have been a cooler surprise if they had just shown up, but like I was worried that I had kind of.
I saw something this morning that spoiled it for me, but I've acted surprised the entire time.
Yes. Well,
this
I had
surprise?
Elias had to know about this because he has to set up thing. Here we go.
Fucking Todd.
Knew it. Oh, who
God
called it?
damn it.
So everybody, let me introduce you to
I like how it
the
broke it.
incredibly amazing Don Diego, the always classy.
Okay. So,
Don, how would you go ahead and describe your character for us?
let's start with the obvious. I've had technical issues every
Wait,
time I try to do.
hang on. I have taken over the GM,
No,
the
no,
GM,
no,
like
no.
half of the GM thing.
Yes.
Jody's still up there. I'm working on it. He's-
But I have
Oh,
half
this is
the
great.
power. Everybody, a million legend points. except
Jax,
except
you
for Brand.
and I are Zolta.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yes,
that
that's
makes
awesome.
sense
You're
since we
also
both have
Pierre.
entropy.
Right.
But I'm also Kestrel. I am everyone. I am you, and we are all together.
So,
Hi, Don.
Alexis, Arena, Pierre, and Aurel.
why don't you describe your character for us?
Sure. So basically, what you currently see is after the crimson kind of sanguine robes come down, you see dark chestnut hair that's kind of gone crazy and unkept. The top has been kind of just tied back in a simple braid just to get it out of the face. Sunken eyes, Hollywood stubble. As you know, that perfectly crafted stubble that they like to have, like a early 20s Hylian, who is right now got something of a smirk as they look towards you. You finally made it. Took you longer than I thought, to be honest. There was a lot of delays, but here we are. You should feel
Get
proud.
Guys,
Zolta's instantly like, where's one of Pierre's daggers? I feel like I'm gonna need it.
Guys,
Do the rest of us recognize him as Brad?
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
an older version of Break. Break was like
Okay.
probably 16, 17 when you guys saw him the first time, so it's a little bit older version of him.
Okay.
Kess just kind of slowly takes out her notebook, goes back to clearly like 5 years ago, and makes a note of, huh, so that's how you could do the traveling. Like, damn it.
Zolta also does
Finally
not
got an
remember
answer to that
Brayak.
question.
Zolta
in
does not
fairness-
care who Brayak was.
And then
as
it's
soon as
going
he was
to-
gone, he was gone from her mind.
Lean
In
over
fairness-
to Arel and kind of just like half show some notes and be like, this eventually will become that guy, I'm assuming, when he stops sleeping and somehow spends all of his time on his facial hair.
It's kind of hot. I like this. I like this graph.
Arel, please don't try to fuck the bad guy.
I've got a
Am I
thing
hearing
for
all
bad
that out
guys.
loud?
He
Yes.
killed you in a
Please say
past
yes.
Depends how good your hearing is.
Oh,
Well, my hearing is pretty
hot.
excellent. I like to think so.
if that's
so
the shadow guy, then he killed you.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Oh,
Uh,
right, that thing that I was there for.
appreciation, I was anticipating. Adoration and lust, not so much. But I'll take that as a compliment.
There's no adoration.
I
it's
wouldn't
mainly
really
just
take that
lust.
as anything. She kind of feels that towards everyone.
Zolta
That's sort
goes,
of like
wait,
breathing.
what? Who is he?
Rock's a very good snuggle
Remember
partners.
the guy back in what was the village? Was that
was
It was
Kakariko.
Kakariko.
Yeah.
Was that in Kakariko?
That's
Yeah.
where you
It
found
was
out about
when
your
she-
alternate family.
It was when the waiter thing happened.
Rayag, this is the reason why it's taking us so long to get here.
Not at all, because I'm still putting together the layout.
Oh, that too.
Oh yeah, well the realms are broken, so it makes sense, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's thematic.
100%.
I mean, apparently it took you longer because I mean, last time we saw you, you were different.
Ooh, well, this even now is a little bit of an illusion. What you saw was something that was a little more palatable.
What does that mean?
Palatable? What does that mean?
No,
No.
like
He's not asking for a definition.
Pierre, where's your daggers?
I love you so much, Don. You have no idea.
just takes one, gives it to Zelda.
Thank you.
It's an adjective meaning no. He just becomes full on Leslie Nielsen, but we don't have time for that right now.
Look,
No, we
That's
do
a
not.
$27
You
word.
do appear very palatable. Shall I do it?
Jesus Christ.
Arel.
Rel, keep it in your pants.
I'll put it to you this way. All of you have been brought to this point by either direct or indirect means, originating from me. And I'm so proud to have seen what you've been able to do to fix this broken world, to fix these tears, which I have to thank you for giving me that nomenclature, for fixing these tears and wounds. This is the point to where it all started. And the last task for us to do to fix everything. So, let's.
Did you break it?
No,
Your name would indicate otherwise.
Well, that I thought was a very funny pun. I mean, my mother was a glassblower, my father made pots. It was kind of funny, to me at least.
It was funny. I made a note of it.
Thank you. I have a sense of humor, you know. But
Gruff
no,
and
that is a hard question that takes much longer time to explain. So I will surmise it as to, I had no intention of breaking it, but because of me, it is broken. But also because of me and you all, it is now going to be fixed.
I don't
I
understand.
don't understand.
Insight check.
Jinx! You owe me not a rock juice. What's
Zolta
what
is just like ready to kill him if need be.
I don't.
Wait, it can't be fixed because two or me are dead.
That's exactly how it can be fixed. I killed you to save you.
No, that's not how it
Views are
works.
Bullshit. Yeah.
Was there any insights or
I
You
would
wanna
like to do
merge
an
the
insight
worlds.
check.
No.
You want to merge the worlds.
How does
Why?
insight check work here,
well,
Jody?
I'll let that finish first, and then I'll get to you.
Insight. I mean, if you want to tell if someone is lying, probably a perception check could work, or if you want to claim that your familiarity with lying makes it easier for you to discover them, you might roll a deception check. But
I mean,
probably
deception
say-
and perception are the exact same score, so I'm just gonna roll perception, and I'm gonna add. I'm gonna add 3 legend points, cause why not? 23.
23. So, Brayak, Lord of Power, are you lying?
No. Everything I say, I truly believe is the truth.
So that's what you get. He seems to be telling the truth.
What he believes is the truth. That's very different.
Well, so to your question, Kes, of course it would be you, Kestrel. You've always been so curious, always so steadfast in finding out the truth and getting to the bottom of things. That's true. This world cannot be split into different parts. There cannot be different realms and tears in the kingdoms. We need to come together as one. It took me a long time to figure out the process to do that. And it took me some humility to remember I cannot go alone. I needed a team, and you are that team.
How did you break everything? How did you spawn at least 2 or 3 different realities?
I failed. I failed everyone. Bruna, the last thing I remember was I was about to die. I was about to die she stood before the blast with her shield to save me, and she told me to run. And I was so overcome by the energy that I lost all physical form and exploded into nothing but pure lightning. And it's funny you asked me that question, because I found myself not in safety, but in a strange village surrounded by dead bodies and a small child at my feet. And before I could contemplate what happened, I found myself in another version, now I know to be Realm, of that exact same scene. And the third time that happened, I was able to stop myself from exploding. And then there was a simple, dumb face looking at me. And I'm still looking into those simple eyes as I speak. You were the very first one who saw me after it all happened.
Just called Aruna simple.
Is
Rude.
Bray your real name?
Zolta warmed up to him a little bit when he said Aruna's simple eyes.
I
my
will say,
gosh.
no.
What
I
is
had
it?
I had a name that I thought was my own, but it turned out that I was just one of 3. And I've given up that name actually now. I've given myself a new moniker. A moniker more fitting of what I truly am. I'm the true hero of the wilds.
Oh, Jesus.
Was your name Link?
One of me was that name. I think you saw, well, the blood remnants of what happened when they failed. Another is hiding somewhere.
So because you failed your realm, you want to combine all of them to make
Oh.
up for your mistake.
Oh no, there should never have been this many realms, Cass. Think about this. What we've been encountering is existence itself not complying with what happened in that great moment. Great, but terrible indeed, but let's be honest, that was an amazing display of magic. We needed to figure out how to bring I needed to figure out how to bring the realms back to one. And you came a little bit later, but you have a part in this too. We're all part of this. From my inception. There was an audible along the way, and I'll turn towards, obviously, the person who's not met me. And you were so close to catching me in the act of doing it. But still, you course-corrected this process. So collectively, we all are correcting the mistakes I made unintentionally.
But I feel like you're
Makes
talking
sense.
ambiguously.
I mean, do you really need the details, Aruna?
If we're gonna fix reality, and you are convinced that you're a good guy instead of someone we need to fight, you might want to be specific about how things were broken and how us sealing the 3 tears will fix it, because right now things don't look very fixed.
Jody, I would
Okay.
like to make a logic check, if possible, around the idea of there is not supposed to be multiple realms.
Sure.
Because that, I don't. Maybe it's
Okay.
my own multiverse
Sure.
beliefs, but I'm like, the idea of possibility does not seem like something is broken to me.
Sure. Go ahead.
Problem with
Thank you, Elijah.
multiverse, once you split a timeline, each of those realities has always existed.
Right?
It's great for RPGs.
Roll for quantum
28?
mechanics.
So, your first kind of initial gut reaction is he is obviously lying. And you keep hearing this in your head over and over in your own kind of internal monologue. He's lying, he's lying, he's lying. But then as you start looking at how everything has worked, you've seen kind of the cracks and everything all going to this one central point. It's obvious something happened here. And the more you think about it and the more you kind of examine this initial point, the more what he's saying starts to make sense. Whether or not you want to accept that or not is entirely up to you. But
I'm not
the
saying
logic
he's
is possible.
lying. I'm saying it. At least what we've played up to this point, I'm sure he believes it 100%.
What I'm saying, from your logic check, you think it is possible it could have happened that way, not that it is guaranteed that is what has happened.
Well, yeah,
You don't
everything's
find any-
possible. That's the whole point.
Sure, and
That's-
I'll step in. Yeah, and I'll step in and say, because the question was if I need to give more information, I'll say, Braek, or the hero, says, I am able, just like you all are now, to hop between these realms through tears caused by a larger wound. So we can make sure we have our nomenclature correct when we're talking about this. I'm something of a scientist myself, as are you. I've noticed an occurrence that happens. When one dies of natural meaning not invoking any Triforce, causes, swiftly in every other realm, they die. There cannot be this imbalance. It has to correct itself. However, when the Triforces are involved, you create the potential of individuals who can then travel between the realms. They're able to create tears themselves. I was the first, and now you all are part of that group too. So that makes me think that this is a all or nothing situation. However, the fact that the tears and wounds happened after my incident tells me that there was originally one, and it all came from one. That is the natural state of all things. So, we need to close all tears, we need to close all wounds, and I'm sure you're figuring out where this is going.
Not really.
We need to get
If
rid
we
of
merge
all...
the world, everyone else is going to die. You're going to lose 2/3 of current life.
life that should have not have been. This is a splinter. I'm returning it to the whole.
Do you
No.
have any reason to believe that?
No, that doesn't even make sense. Because if
Parallel
you have
realities
3
cannot
holes,
coexist
like you can't
permanently?
repair something if you have to go.
Yes, you can. We are here at the...
If you have a single
Origin.
mirror, you don't suddenly have extra pieces when it breaks.
How
You
do
don't
know
have to
that this-
fix single. You don't have to fix sudden 3 extra mirrors in order to make them back into one mirror. That's literally not how it works. You cannot create or destroy energy. That's not.
Link of power, Mister. Even if if the mistake you made made 3 realities, the realities are still those exactly realities. They are real and contain real people, and they're very different. Societies, and some of them are not great, but history's never great. But they're still very real. And so to try and wrap our heads around merging something back into one doesn't seem like a correction of a mistake. It kind of seems like a personal
Genocide.
thing to try and absolve yourself of your past mistakes and whatnot at the expense of a lot of lives, because now they're individual and not the same anymore.
But I explained to you. Oh, go ahead, Zoltan.
Can I reach out with my life drain and sense the energy around Brayak? Thinking about how it was with Ganon and the castle. I just want to see if it's similar or the same.
So you're still kind of running into the issue of there's so much malice energy around you that you're kind of almost partially blind from it. But since you've been in this situation for a little while now, you're starting to kind of understand and anticipate it. So I would like you to make me a fortitude check. Because this is still an overwhelming process for you.
And with that, F you imp, I will use advantage stuff. So,
Bless you.
fine. I'm gonna put 8 advantage on that and see how that works.
And Don, really quickly,
Sure.
sent you a message on Discord,
Jesus.
and don't forget
We're
to join
re-rolling.
the Roll20 game.
Got it.
We're re-rolling that.
Have other stuff.
Yeah, no problem.
So,
Also, Don, it's nice to have you back.
Oh yeah, no, we'll get to the
I'm
nice.
angry.
We'll get to the
I'm
nice.
angry.
We get to the
I
nice
just-
later.
Yeah,
but it's
what's
nice to see.
happening?
I'm angry about
just
this
say advantage, not
surprise.
disadvantage,
and
right?
I'm rah, but it's good to see you.
Sure. No, yeah, like I said, we'll definitely get to the niceties later.
Best to
so
get it
back,
out of the way before I murder you.
Yeah, no, but back to Aruna's point. Aruna, I just explained to you
Better.
how unstable all these realities are.
Really, because it
must
seems
mean-
like trying to merge them like we've been doing for the past few months has made a very unstable state of Hyrule Castle. So I'm still confused as how we move on from this point to make everything stable again.
Because this point is the past. You've returned to the origin of it all. You've fixed all the fissures that have come from the wounds from this point. We are returned here to the inception. I have seen my dead self, and I know somewhere around here, another princess is hiding another versions of myself, which I must extinguish as well. I've had this process figured out. If all these 3 realms were truly independent, why then, when one dies of a natural cause in one, do they have to swiftly die in all the others? They're not truly independent, which means all these lives by themselves should be connected back to one main realm, one origin.
that doesn't. Okay, now I'm confused on multiple points that I'm normally confused, but now there's more. So,
So
God's
really
bless
quick,
Aurel.
before you finish answering this question, just because Elias has already made the roll, what was the roll you got?
Well, it took 8 advantage and 2 re-rolls
Oh my
to move off of a 16 or a 15 to
Oh,
get a 25.
shit.
I'm switching
25.
to physical dice.
As you should.
Oh,
So
Really?
as you kind of extend yourself out again, you get that initial feeling. But then as you kind of feel him, you do feel kind of the regular presence that you would expect from just a Hylian standing there. But there's something about him that doesn't seem possible. The amount of energy contained within him is so far beyond anything you've ever felt from any creature ever that you don't think it should be possible. He is a collection of he's basically a star's worth of energy inside a single.
I'm going to turn to Kess, who I assume is next to me, and whisper to them, he's a goddamn battery.
As that's happening,
Ooh.
going back to Aurel. Sorry for interrupting you.
okay, confused on many points. So, okay. When if so, this isn't the original realm that it broke in, correct? It broke in a different realm. That's why there's another Link and Princess, or another version of you and Princess somewhere. So when you merge all the worlds, which version of everyone are we getting? Are we getting the Impa that abused me emotionally, physically, or mentally? Which one?
You are
Take a
getting
legend point for that. That's amazing.
that's great.
So that's question number 1. Question number 2, and is everything going to merge into this realm, or what's? Hold on, I'm using way too much brain power right now.
This is a wound.
Same.
The origin wound. This is not one stable realm. This is instability itself, the origin of it. When we extinguish all of the variants and the deviancies, my own other selves included, what remains will be merged into one. That will be the true and only realm.
Okay, but if this is the origin realm, there wouldn't be other versions of you here. Like
It's
the
not an origin realm. This is the split, as you've seen through all these other weird changing hairs all around you. This is not a true thing. Everything here is unstable. It is a nexus, a node almost, if you want to use the term.
So, wait, so you're saying that the other places didn't exist except for this one?
They come from this one. I am.
But you
the
didn't
hero.
die in this one.
I am only aware of my death after the explosion of power, from which the realms come from. And then I realize, as I explained to you, that I had changed not only in realm, but in time. Remember, we are not in your timeline. This here is the past.
Or
This-
Okay, Kesserine, I need you now because
Are
that's all.
you
I
Okay,
got.
from
so
one of these
between
three
what
realities?
he has just said
Mhm.
and what Zolta has just told me, I'm going to do another little logic roll trying to put together, like, why is he a battery? Like,
Okay.
Kess's brain is going
Sure,
crazy
go for
pants.
While you're doing
Um,
that, Aruna, you had something you were saying.
Are you from one of the 3 Hyrules that we know about, or some 4th one that spawned the 3?
You can give it a name, but I'm the origin. And then once the great energy explosion happened, I became aware that there are 2 other variations of what happened in that battle. One of which I died.
Was this
One of
energy
which
explosion from the Triforce?
my theory, my running theory at least, is that the interaction of the energies of the Triforce are the only things that are able to change reality itself. Which is why when I take the lives of your other selves, you gain the abilities to see the tears and work to fix the wounds and tears.
So
Whereas
you're
if you were just
from
to die of
one
natural
the
causes-
3 I'm just cutting him off. So you're from
Oh, please
one of
do.
the 3 realms we know. Which Triforce do you have? Or did you have?
I am the wielder of the Triforce of power.
Hmm.
While
you're
this
from
conversation is going
Marinus?
on, Kess, what did you get for your roll?
54?
So that is high enough for you to figure out whatever it is that you want. So we're going
Four,
to
did you say?
go a little meta here. What are you trying to figure out? Like,
Okay,
what specifically do you want to know? And I'm just going to tell you, and you can figure
Oh.
out how Kess understands.
brilliant. Okay, so, like, this is absolutely
54 is
that
very
meme
high.
of the...
Beautiful
literally,
mind
so between
equations.
This is
Like-
all a tabletop board game.
what he's explaining, I want to know how he's essentially become a battery of energy.
Okay.
But also, man, this whole thing with like the world's like needing to I'm like, maybe it's the fact that like killing off 2/3 of, whether it was newly created life or not, that does not sit well with me.
Yeah.
Are they gonna kill off or merge though?
Well, if they merge though, like we've seen what happens.
As I think about it, if it's not as much
Before
death.
that, let me go ahead and
Um
answer Kess's question.
So it's that thing of like, I'm sure he fully believes this, but I feel like he's misunderstood how this world is actually
Okay.
functions. I don't know. There's something about the structure of it that
Mhm.
doesn't make sense with the way he is presenting it to me.
Absolutely. So, first things first, how can he be a battery?
Why is he a
effectively?
battery?
He literally has the Triforce of Power in him right now. He is 1/3 of the Triforce. You are literally standing in front of a third of the tool that was used to create all of existence. He has 1/3 of that inside his body currently. Because of that, he has unbelievable amounts of energy. And from your from the fact that Kess was so studious and would have learned literally everything she possibly could, each Triforce has different things that it empowers. The Triforce of Courage gives you martial prowess. You become the best warrior physically possible. You will become stronger, faster. You can do things that you shouldn't be able to do, hit targets that are impossible. The Triforce of Wisdom gives you an unbelievable intellect and a connection to kind of the abilities to expand your mind, prescience, telepathy, things like that. Triforce of Power is magic incarnate. All sources of magic come from the Triforce of Power. So effectively, Brayak, Link, Lord of Power, is the source of all magic in all realms currently.
Gross.
That's why he has so much power. All magic comes from the Triforce of Power, and he is merged with it. As far as the realms not making sense, what he's attempting to basically say, to kind of clarify it, is when the split happened, it didn't just split forward in time, it split backwards in time. And so originally there was only one timeline, or in fact there was three, but we're not going to get into that argument. There was only one realm, and when the split happened, it was such a profound split that it didn't just break off everything going forward. It created entire histories going back to the original creation of Hyrule for each realm. So from that point on, all the realms became their own thing and basically turned into things that would have existed. But according to what he is saying, that's not how it's always been. Yes, there is a history that goes all the way back to the beginning of Hyrule in the Realm of Power, because when the realms split, it split backwards in time in addition to forwards in time. And what he's telling you effectively is he's trying to get it back to the way it was. There was only ever supposed to be one realm. Again, this is what he is telling you.
No,
Whether or
yes.
not you want to believe it is entirely up to you.
But
the
based
logic
on-
tracks.
Yeah,
is what I'm saying.
sure, but the only logic that seems to track in that is that technically at one point it was like this, but now it's like this.
Mhm.
But he keeps saying it's unstable.
Well, and you guys have
But
seen,
everything we've seen when we repair a tear and keep them more separate seems to speak opposite to that.
well, you guys have noticed the longer the campaign happened, the more you started seeing tears. And that was done intentionally. Especially when we started getting to the last dungeon, you guys started seeing a lot of tears. If you remember right before you got here, all of
Yeah.
these tears started forming.
What was up with the dinosaurs?
What?
Huh?
Those are
The dinosaur
Lizalfos.
sorry.
The serial dream reel.
There's a dinosaur realm and we never went to it.
Yeah, you guys missed the dinosaur realm.
Well, no, when we were in Death Camp.
I get that there's been
They're
more.
actually called Dinophos, and they're an actual thing.
I get
didn't even
there's
make
been
it up.
more
They're a real thing in
tears.
Zelda.
I feel like that's not actually answering the question.
Okay. Well, again, 54. So you can keep asking until I can tell you from, to get really into the weeds here. The initial inception of this entire campaign was this idea that what happens if Link loses? And
Yeah.
I came up with this idea of, well, it would split all three realms.
Mhm.
So And the intention of all of this was the idea that 3 realms can't exist. Reality can't handle things happening 3 different ways every single time. Now again,
Okay, so then I think I fundamentally disagree with the premise, so we can move
Absolutely.
on.
And that's
Because
totally fine.
that's my issue.
Yeah.
Is I'm like, this does not make sense. But if that's actually the premise, that's fine.
mhm.
I just fundamentally, as a person, don't agree with it. So that's
absolutely, and you
that's
are-
a very
you are
different
welcome.
issue than having wait, no, this doesn't. Okay, cool. So
And
he's
I
got that
think Kess would
inside.
have that exact same problem. I think that's a completely valid reaction to being informed of that. So
And so may I, Jody?
go ahead. Absolutely. I don't want to cut you off.
And I'm frankly starting to become a bit disappointed at how everyone is reacting to this moment. This was supposed to be a celebration of our accomplishments, of the fact that we are this close to solving all of the problems of the realms. I, in your exception, Runa, chose all of you. I put you through trials. I even sent you assistance. The little Korok.
No,
Steve,
Steve, how could you?
You
This-
traitor.
The Atticus with that strange cylindrical sort of firing weapon. Little things I picked up along the way.
Did they know
And-
you were using them like you were using us?
Again, I had to come into a form that's a little more palatable for people. People really like listening to old bearded men give them words of advice, it seems.
When you say we're
Zolta disagrees.
this close, what is it that you would like all of us to do from this point forward?
It is all or nothing when it comes to the merging of the realms back into the one true realm. There's either 3 that will merge into 1, or none. There cannot be 1 or 2. Like I said, I've had to take care of one of my other versions, and once we finish here, I'll have to find the last hiding one and take care of that one too.
Murder.
You know how
Yeah.
much that hurts? Because it hurts a lot.
I know how much that hurts. I've seen
Do
it.
you?
I felt it.
Where are
Do
the other
you?
Triforces?
And the
No.
other ones.
Where are the other piece of the Triforce?
Did you
You're-
take the
you're
second
getting off topic,
Triforce?
Kess.
Dude, I
Where
think it's a
are the
relevant
other
Triforce.
pieces of the Triforce?
Kess, you wouldn't be here if I did not let you live. I saw you as a child. I like this curiosity.
avoiding
I
the
love this
question.
attitude.
Deflecting.
But I'm warning you now. Sit down
We're
and be
standing.
quiet.
Well,
Oh,
you
God.
should know
There's nowhere to sit.
it is a very, very stupid and useless thing to tell me no.
I would have thought. Pierre, you've been very quiet this whole time. Maybe you should step in and explain to them. Once you realize the magnitude of the situation, that you would accept what has to be done the same way I accept all the lives I've had to take for this to happen. Pierre, you've had loss. You were the first one I chose intentionally. I knew what you lost. Remember when you met me as Braic and I told you it wasn't your fault? You're right. This is a sad thing, but because of my fault, the women you cared about died. But I'm giving you an opportunity to fix this. I know.
Wait, you said they everyone when they die in one realm, they die in other realms. But Pierre said his friends died in his realm, and then they were here fighting in this realm. So,
No, their death will come swiftly.
but
There
they were.
can't-
Pause just a second. Cass, you've been so politely.
Sorry, it's because there's a lot of cool drama.
Yeah,
I'm reaching up to grab
absolutely.
Jody.
Excuse me.
Well, someone
can I-
mentioned because you're literally right below me. It
I
just
know.
looks like you're reaching up to grab me.
pull on your
Get
sleeve.
down here.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, I would like to quietly whisper to my lovely bull, while they're getting distracted.
I don't know what this voice.
No, please,
Same voice.
please commit.
I would like him to search for similar signatures of energy.
Take 2 legend points, but I do need you to make me. Normally would be an agility check to see if you can do this without people noticing, but we
this is
already know what
Cass.
you do with agility checks.
This is
So-
Cass.
Go ahead and make a logic check for me.
Something to say after he's done talking to Pierre.
I'm gonna use 9 of those.
Do it.
Thanks for all the legend points. 67.
Holy shit!
Welcome to the highest
Love you,
roll
Kira.
I was
anyone
about to say,
has
I
gotten.
think you just beat our
Don't-
highest roll.
Is that
It
your
was six-
record?
It was
That's nuts.
62.
Was it? Oh, that's,
That's
right.
crazy.
You did all the
Holy
all
crap.
the analytics.
Shit.
I did.
I love that you went and did all the data.
We love you, Jax.
Kind of
Yeah, you don't actually have to say anything to Boole. You have learned. You've gotten so kind of used to interacting with Boole that it literally is just kind of a look, and a look, and a look, and Boole knows what you want. And
Find me those other Triforce.
It's going to take a little bit, so I will
That's
come
fine.
back once Boole has an answer for you. But we're going to go back to. I interrupted Arel when she was speaking.
Oh,
So,
yes.
Arel, what did you want to say?
Arel was talking.
Yeah,
I
I,
was
said just hold
talking
on
to
for a
Pierre.
second. You and Brayak were going at it for a bit. So,
Oh. I thought
we don't need
Aruna
to
was
know
talking.
about that.
oh, it might
Yeah,
be rid of
why that phrasing?
that.
Damn. That's crazy.
Kess looks over at Bull for a minute. She turns back and around and making out.
Whoa. Whoa.
You know
Like the
what?
inspector, he didn't even know what was
That's
happening.
one way to distract him.
So back to the conversation we were having. Brayak, you might have been on a roll at that point. So,
Yeah, I was just invoking Pierre because Pierre was very silent
that's
this whole
what it
time.
was.
And I was explaining, like, you were the first one I intentionally chose because I saw so much of my old friends, the old champions, in you. And I knew from the loss you had, you would understand what the ultimate sacrifice is. You're willing to sacrifice your people for your perceived realm. I'm telling you can sacrifice for every realm and bring the world back to whole. That's why I picked you. You understand what has to be done. And I want you to know, you may not exist in the new realm, but I will tell them of your name. I will tell the people who you were. And I will tell them that you are the true hero of Rito.
You know what? No. Screw that. Absolutely not. Flat out. Sorry, bear with me. That was an incredible monologue, and I got lost in the weeds and went, oh god, now it's gonna be me. What do I say? God damn it! It's nice to have. It's nice to be around people who are very good at this. No. I've made my peace, and I've learned in the last couple years that all I can do is my best, and I would not trade these people that I am here with for anything. So no.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
So you're just going to subjugate and subject all of this instability to crash and fall around you over a received friendship, an unnatural thing that I put together. I put all of you together.
I have a question.
Is
Mr.
Bull done? Is Bull done?
I was right about to say. So, Boole, very stealthily, kind of comes up to you and says, "A power signature similar to this, but noticeably different enough to be classified as a different massive power source is located a few hundred miles to the south." Which your very basic understanding of geography, he's referencing the Shrine of Awakening, which, as far as you know, is just on this very high plateau that no one's allowed on because there's a bunch of guardians and stuff up there. It was one of the places you eventually wanted to go because you were told not to. there is another power source that should be right in front of you, but isn't. All the indications, there's kind of an echo of power literally right in front of you, but there's no source of the power.
As in, like, it's showing up there, but I can't see anything?
Effectively an echo of the power is there, but there's not an actual source of the power. So, like, you're seeing light, but you're not seeing the light source, if that makes sense, is what Bulu is telling you. But it's right in front of you where the pool of blood is.
I have a question, Mr. Link of Power. Whenever you're talking about killing your other selves, the other links, are you taking their Triforce? Like, did you take the one Triforce from the one you killed, and do you seek the third one so that you get the whole Triforce, and then you can remake reality as you see fit?
Jody, I'm just going to confirm with you real quick. Before I drop the big possibly BBG. I don't know.
Big bad evil guy.
Thank you, big bad evil BBEG. Before I drop my big bad BBEG, does it even matter for me to tell them, or am I just over it now?
It's up to you. I will say, I will whisper to you in Discord, and you can decide if you want to tell them or not.
All right, go for it.
We got another loading.
This
like a
moment
buffering
of
symbol.
Storytelling brought to you by the Zelda Universe
Oh my
water
God.
bottle.
No,
Remember to
what?
stay hydrated.
Birthday merch link.
Or send rerolls or legend
All right,
points.
That
but
too.
not
If
to
you have
Dawn.
them.
Not to Dawn.
This is our last.
That's what I figured.
All right, just
This
clarify.
is our last
follow
episode.
You
So
clarified,
if you
appreciate it.
have those
Appreciate it.
reviews,
Appreciate it. All right.
Follow Dawn.
So to your question, we're going back in character. I am power itself. I need nothing else.
So then how do you intend to fix it?
I am second guessing why I gave you this chance, Aruna. Your
Well, according to
entire
what
party.
you just said, I was the first one you came across, but Pierre was the first one you chose, meaning you didn't even choose me. I was just there.
And I could have also weeded you out. So take that into consideration. I gave you all the rod of restoration, and you called it the Trifork.
Look. It
To
does
be fair, you introduced yourself as a pun,
Uh.
so you kind of set the tone for our entire journey.
You also can't give us something and not give us the name at the beginning and not expect us to do something stupid with it.
I did.
before I was there.
I could not comprehend. I'm surprised with all the things I could comprehend, and got all of you together into this point, all the audibles and adjustments, take into consideration how childish you all are.
You should have known that. You brought me on. Why am I here?
Yeah, why was Arel added later?
Hold on, pause. Is this Jody's frustration with us at the party of I made this super cool item and y'all called it the goddamn Triforce?
Jody just ranted to Dawn for an hour, and he's just using all
Oh,
of
no.
that.
And
Guys
he's
have
not
no
an hour.
idea
Then
how
Dawn
close
just
you
went-
are to the truth.
Jody
and then
has
Dawn
said this has
just
been
went,
4
so what if
months.
I, and then Dawn just went, so then what if I make all of this a evil character? Is that what this is happening?
We are literally fighting the GM.
Through another
I
gem.
would like
Dungeons and Dragons
to
would
just kind of tap my lovely wife beside me on like the thigh, just all subtle like, and then do like the hand thing after he's said like 'cause he's now mentioned the Trifork and just kind of that meaningful look of like, gimme, I need it.
While being like, what about Arel? Why was she added late? Holding the Trifork over.
Who's
Question-
on the other side of me right now?
I am.
Okay, you keep
And I
being a
assume-
distraction.
And I assume I am next to Zolta
Okay.
because I gave Zolta one of my daggers.
Okay,
Sure.
Oh.
so
And I know
it's
I'm
that sort
next
of
to
like,
Cass.
hey,
No,
y'all, all three of you, I'm gonna need your help to use this thing.
So the question continues. Why am I here? I am not smart. I am not good at fighting. How did I get here?
You're pretty good at fighting, and you're pretty
You're
smart.
pretty good at fighting, and you're smarter than me.
You guys shut up.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I'm currently very angry right now. So, at this point, I don't even care. We all know where this is leading. I wanted to
We
give you
really
a send off out
But
of my.
The realms in
Right.
the other realms were so much better and cooler and
Oh, Aurel.
just as hot, but like
No,
I'm so lost.
I don't make mistakes. You were the right Aurel. Now I'm
Are you
not going
sure?
to.
How do you know this?
You claim you don't
While
make
this is
mistakes, but
happening-
now you're questioning
while-
if you made one by
While this
choosing
is
one.
happening, while this is happening, I would like to, before this goes too much further and I lose my shot, I would like to point the Trifork at the pool of blood. I want to try, or rather the energy source. I would like to try to focus bringing that into this realm because I fucking want it.
And I'm doing whatever I can to assist with that.
Can I also assist with that?
Yes, we need 3 people.
Cool.
I am
Yeah.
also
We need
being
wisdom,
very
courage,
dumb.
and power.
Yeah.
I'm
So I feel
That wouldn't
like
be me.
could if you 3 or you 2 are helping me, could I get some power from Zolta and some courage from Pierre?
I am
Perhaps.
focused on causing as many possible eye rolls from Lord of Power as possible.
All right, so let's start with Kess. Give me a logic roll.
I'm just burning through these, you guys.
Hey, if you're trying to summon another Link, that's a good.
Summon another one, either pull the Triforce itself through so we can use the power. Like, that man is a fucking battery. He did
If
not
we are
get it.
successful, can Elias just double Dawn's window?
Sure, give me 10 minutes.
just make Dawn's camera where Hyrule Castle is and just swap places with it.
I'm about to say, if I add a 7th person, these cameras are getting so skinny, it's gonna be.
You're basically just gonna have your nose.
All right.
I
While
still
that's
want
happening,
answers to my
Zulta,
questions.
if you're going to give us power,
Yeah, he's really
Um,
beating around the bush here.
I need an extraordinary roll. Any extraordinary ability that you have,
Great.
you can choose.
Can it be an attack?
It is not an attack.
All right.
I burned a
You have enough
reroll
legend
unnecessarily,
points that if
but
you
I'm
want
happy
your
about it.
Massive advantage. You can use legend points for it.
Oh, I will
If
use
you-
legend points for it.
Do I need to roll as well?
Use
for
your
this?
dice.
Yes. For courage, if you want to make an agility roll, you can. Otherwise, a presence roll works just as well for courage.
You mean presence and not pre-science?
Presence, not pre.
Not precise.
Okay.
God.
The
Pre-science would actually
D20
be a
worked out
power.
well.
Or actually, technically, pre-science would be more wisdom, to be honest.
Gang,
Yeah.
is this the one where I dumped the hundo?
It's up to you.
Oh, the one-time hundo?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you guys all of this right now. This was not in any sort of consideration when I created this encounter.
You should have realized that.
Fairly
Curious
certain.
here.
We're used
I
to
actually
that.
had that thought. I actually had that thought for a
You
second
know.
when you were like, "Oh, there's still one remaining." I'm like, "Good versus bad." Like, oh, that might be kind of cool.
You put a
It's
signature
gonna,
there. I
it's
was
gonna
like,
turn into Hyrule Warriors here in a
Kiri?
second.
I'm
the
gonna
wheels
use
in
this
my
thought
head
video.
have
about
been
where the other
turning.
Triforces were at this particular point in time, and so this you can blame all of this on Kess or on
Okay.
Kiri.
Kiri, I'm gonna leave
I
it
have
to
to
you.
put
Do
the
I drop
math
it?
in a window.
Fuck yeah, man, let's do it.
All right, I'm dropping the hundo.
All right, so let's start off. Kess, what did you get?
51.
51. Not quite high enough. Yeah, 51.
That was a
Wait,
reroll.
what
I
was
didn't
your
even need to
original
cover.
roll?
44.
Woo!
What have we
GM, I
got?
wasn't expecting this. Group, we have a Kiri.
So,
Ah!
so Jody, is there any?
This moment comes down to Brayak literally saying, like, I liked your curiosity, but now is the time for you to basically sit down and shut up. And it's like, you have literally said the
You-
worst
you-
thing.
You
I
have
know.
sealed your
You
own
have-
fate,
I know.
sir.
I
I know.
love
You
you,
have-
Don, because I
you-
know you were
you've
doing it. And I
literally-
was like,
There's
literally,
also obviously a lot of
obviously-
meta humor here, obviously. So I totally knew that when I picked this character. By the way, this was going to be the bad guy 5.5 years ago when
Yeah.
I
Jody
fully
came with
believe
the
that.
idea.
I fully
Yeah.
believe that.
Yeah, that makes
Uh,
sense. This
Lex
makes
We,
me
needs
wanna
would,
to
say-
have
we
a-
wouldn't have even been sealing wounds if it hadn't been for Brad.
Lex
I
also needs to have a
rolled-
moment of glory.
All right,
I
so
rolled a.
Lex.
I dumped the 100 legend points in this. 63.
All right. Ilea, what you got for me?
I used 5 legend and I got a 57 from entropic energy.
Man, if this
Hell
roll doesn't
yeah.
make the Rod of Restoration work, I don't know what rolls will.
So-
Can I do anything to deny them?
You're being distracted by a crazy
By a
sex
rel.
Of course they have.
Arel and I are
you
just
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 distract
tag
her
teaming back and
fiancé.
forth.
This is what's
Super
happening.
effective.
It's all good. Go ahead.
As Kess pulls out the rod, which you had gotten a slight inkling that there was something going on there, but you really had no reason to worry about it anyways.
Sure,
Again,
yeah, power
these
hungry,
people
I
are
don't
so
care.
far beneath
Yeah.
you, they can do whatever they want.
You thought we were going to point it at you.
You see the Rod of Restoration come out, and you instantly become depressed because you created this item, and now they're going to try and kill you with it. It's one of those
Nah.
like, seriously, you guys could not have disappointed me more. And then they're not pointing it at you, which seems
Challenge
very
accepted.
odd.
Aggressive learning, bitch.
And then you watch as Kess starts
I need it as a
to
shirt.
radiate wisdom, and you instantly feel this slight tinge of fear, because the last time you saw the Triforce of Wisdom invoked was when Ganon himself was using it against you. And so you see that, and reflexively you start to get into a defensive stance. Then you see something that gives you a little bit of comfort. You see courage embodied in Pierre, and you remember when Zelda stepped in front of the blast and took the final blow for you. And then you feel something almost completely alien to you. You see power incarnate being used by someone that's not you. As Zulta starts fusing all of this energy, and you see all of this energy going into the Rod of Restoration, you're kind of impressed because something you created is working exactly the way you designed it to. And they're finally coming together, and you're like, well, maybe they finally understood that this is what has to happen. And then you see where they're aiming. There is a pool of blood where there was a corpse not more than an hour ago. The corpse that you got rid of because it didn't need to be there anymore. They're aiming it where the link of wisdom used to be. And it clicks what it is that they're trying to do. And as all this happens, you guys see this bolt of energy hit the area where the pool of blood is and stop just above it. And it seems like nothing's happening for a moment. But then you see this kind of collection of energy, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. The ground beneath you starts to quake. You see the sky itself, more bolts of lightning are going. You watch as more cracks start shooting off from the place that you are focusing this energy. You start to feel intense amounts of pain. Everyone takes 1 lethal damage as these waves of energy start hitting you over and over and over again. Briac, I would like you to invoke a boon for me.
Okay.
I
Moment.
have to remember what I called it.
I'm on the page, so let me scroll down to the boons. See what we got.
I believe it should be barrier or something like that. What was it? The resistance boon. There we go.
Yeah, I got you.
So you're instantly going to put up a resistance of entropic energy boon. So go ahead and roll that and see what power level it gets. to.
Advantage, disadvantage, any of that?
This is going to be a flat roll,
Okay.
I think. Yeah, because you're just invoking a boon, you don't get to use your boss edge. So you do get it to power level 7. So now any entropic attacks are all of your defenses are 9 points higher. You guys watch as Brayak kind of extends his hand and this barrier appeals around him and starts to envelop his form with what looks like malice energy. And as you guys are sitting there focusing, doing everything that you can to keep this, suddenly you hear this and in front of you is a perfect equilateral triangle made of pure gold, just floating there, kind of rotating. Brayak, you've never actually seen the Triforce when it's not inhabiting a creature, so this is a bit of a humbling experience to you. But you realize that your biggest advantage is you have a Triforce and they don't, or didn't. And I'd like everyone to roll for initiative.
Yeah, okay.
So overwhelmed.
I'm gonna keep track of my heartbeat for this purpose.
Oh, I have a Fitbit on. This is gonna be crazy. It's gonna be like, hey, you did all this running today.
No, I just found the
hold on, let me
Triforce
see
of
what my
Wisdom.
heart rate is.
Oh yeah, I'm at 100 right now.
Feels good if you can get your players' heartbeats racing.
Yeah, I'm actually at 98, so
You guys
We
even
will be
have special
eight.
battle music for this.
Hey, can you turn it down a little bit?
Of course.
You got special music
Thank
for
you.
this? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Someone
I
remind me
would
how to
allow.
roll for initiative. It's been.
There's an actual initiative button on your
Well,
thing.
but it's Elias.
Due to the fact
Elias
that
is rolling because
That's right.
we need some clarity here, let's bring a map out. So, you guys,
word.
you can go ahead and place your minis anywhere on the bottom here you would like.
Like here area.
Yeah, anywhere down here. This platform up here, this is about 50 feet above the ground level. And Brayak, if you want to drag your piece and put it anywhere on the upper balcony.
It is hard to hear you over the music right now.
Yeah.
I don't
Although
hear
I can
any
turn that
music.
down. Oh wait, I can control this actually. What am I doing? can
I've
control how
reduced the
high.
music even more. Is that better?
Yes. It's
Okay,
just
cool.
very intense music.
Wait, why is my? It's not.
I don't
Yeah,
see
it-
my mini,
although
so
I-
apologies, Jody.
No. If you take,
There
in the journal section, your Lord of Power. If you click on the name and just drag it over, you will put your mini on the map.
Honey, don't. What are you doing?
Ta-da!
I
Nice.
also
see her
just
nuzzle
realized
them.
I could control them. Oh, kitty.
I want to help you win.
Oh, goody.
Adorable.
Does that mean permanent
Mama, I
advantage?
shall help you win.
I think I have an
If
advantage.
those
There's something
three are
permanent about
there,
that.
I think
This
I'll
is Bool
probably.
now.
Oh my god.
This is Bool. She is fuzzy and French.
How do I drag? There we go. Okay.
Y'all noticed that checks had to restart, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So checks will be back in a
I
second.
probably
I can
put a
get initiative from the
little
rest of you guys.
distance.
Honey.
And then the stairs themselves are what will lead you up if you want to walk up there. Otherwise, if you want to find a way
So
to
where is the Triforce?
the Triforce
Of-
itself, the blood spot, which I don't have on here, should be right here.
Right where? Sorry.
If you are in roll 20, there should be a little green thing showing up. If you can't see that, you should be able to see it on the stream, just slightly delayed. But it's right. It's right. It's on the base level, in front of where.
Oh shit! If that's the case, I would like to be closer to that, but I
You are
guess we
welcome to
can't.
be. You can put yourself
Alright.
anywhere on this bottom level.
That's
you
true.
want.
We
'Cause
would have
I
positioned
assumed we were
ourselves
closer to
relative
that.
to the
Yeah,
Triforce.
you can be.
or the-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so
Blood.
where? Because I'm okay. So I'm just
Here,
gonna
let
be
me,
wherever.
Let me just actually draw something for you guys.
Exclusive hand-drawn Triforce coming in.
Yeah,
Hot.
that's the Triforce right there. Can I, does it let me draw? No, it just let me draw rectangles.
I think it's got shapes, right? You can do. Can't you do a triangle?
That
I
is
haven't
a
worked
shape.
enough in roll 20 to
So
do
the
it.
fun thing about having a tremor in your dominant hand
Ah.
means drawing anything is a pain in the ass. So
Is everything? Okay, there it is.
All right, so that's for the green splotch. That's for the Triforces. So let's start with Aruna. Do you have an initiative roll for me?
I was just about to roll it in roll 20 because I forgot how to do it.
It's a d20 plus your agility.
Oh, that's
Right.
right. Okay. Well,
Zulta, what do you got for me?
19.
Pierre?
32.
Cool. Kess?
23.
Very cool. Arel?
Nothing yet. Hold on.
Cool. Lord of Power?
17.
17. Cool. Aruna, you got one for me yet?
I also received a 17.
Cool. And then Arel, do you got one
I'm-
for me?
No, hold on.
Okay.
Elias, what gave it away that it was me earlier on? You said something and then never followed up.
I saw
19,
a
there we
technical thing that
Yeah.
Jody had set up while I was setting up stream. I should not have seen.
What was
Yeah.
it?
His nameplate, I would assume, because
Oh.
I had to create.
I saw the
his
player
nameplate.
6 nameplate while setting up layouts.
Yeah, I thought about waiting until afterwards, but I was positive I would forget to do it. So
That was
last
my
night-
leading theory when you told me roughly what was going to happen anyway.
My arm is just pinned right now.
Yeah, you're stuck there for the end of time.
Yep. Okay, I have to ask to make sure my computer's not freaking out again. Is there music playing?
Yes.
There is currently
There
music. playing.
is.
I
Did
don't
Jody's
hear it
music
either,
crash your
Jax.
computer?
I don't know. I don't know what happened. That has never happened before. So
I don't know if I've turned off music somehow.
You might
but
have
I'm
turned it off somehow. If you
Well,
go
I
to the
just-
settings and you go to audio, video,
yeah, it says now playing, but it's paused.
I don't know.
It's not for
Let me
me.
stop it and start it again, and I'll see if that changes things for you.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Yep, there
every
it is.
so
Thank you.
often, things will just happen that are weird.
I don't need- I
Doing
don't
that
need to hear
turned
the
off the
music.
music for me.
Yeah, because
I don't need to hear the
beginning
music
is very,
right now.
very quiet, so you should hear it eventually.
There.
Okay.
The,
Sorry, everyone.
It's perfectly fine. The tech that Roll20 uses is not always super
Good.
reliable. So, Arel, do you have an initiative for me?
19.
19. Cool.
That's
Zolta, you
good.
can
It
go
might
before me
mean-
since we got the same.
It might mean
Oh.
Lord of Power is among the last to go.
With Boss
ow.
Edge
I've got
makes things
contingencies.
very
I've got
interesting.
contingencies.
So,
Oh, jeez.
we're going to start off with Pierre. I'm going to say, if you guys want to do something involving the Triforce of Wisdom, you can invoke it using. You will have to come up with a skill that you think works for it, and then kind of negotiate as to why you want to use that skill to use it. But that will be your full turn. That'll take your movement. That'll take your action, any minor actions. Everything goes into using the Triforce of Wisdom if you want to. Yes, Kiri.
Is there any way for us to put it in our? I don't want him being able to pick it up and have two Triforces.
Yeah, that sounds like a bad call.
From a mechanic standpoint, he can't use it.
Okay.
As far as like the lore behind why he can't use it, it's complicated. But I'll tell you
No,
right
that's-
now,
that's
not
fair.
something you have to deal with.
I just
I'm not
don't-
sure if we know that.
That
though.
was my biggest concern.
I will say Kess probably wouldn't know that, but I will tell you as players, he can't.
Okay.
Just to get that out of your mind, that would be an unfair situation to put you guys in. And this is already stacked very heavily against you. So, no, he can't use the Triforce of Wisdom. If you'd like to come up with a way that Kess could figure this out, it will probably take at least a round of combat for you to figure that out.
That's fair.
How full circle is everything that we're using his Ganon's Triforce against him?
Guys,
There's
I
a great
was
bit
very
of
proud of how this turned out. Like, I never
possibility-
could have planned for it to work this well.
the possibility of it did run in my mind, and I was like, "What a great, beautiful irony there."
So that being said, Pierre, you are up first.
I'm trying to figure out how to utilize the Triforce of Wisdom right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because, well, yes, I could go in and do melee. That doesn't seem like the right move for me right now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything protection based?
Yeah.
Like
One of the
shielding
things that
or
the Triforce of Wisdom has done previously has been very much protection based. Like Zelda used it to protect herself, and has used it to protect Link on multiple occasions. So,
hold on. Let me go through all of the other parts.
You know,
of
except for
my
when his
thing.
Zelda died. That part, yeah.
she didn't have the Triforce of Wisdom; she had the Triforce of Courage, and the
I have
Triforce
a
of Courage
thought.
gave her the strength to actually
Oh,
take
you meant
the
Triforce
entirety
of
of the
Wisdom.
blow.
Yeah.
I have a thought of what to do, and I hope when we get to my turn, I get to do it.
It only took away 8 hearts instead of being a one-hit KO.
Well, what would have happened without the Triforce of Courage? She would have been obliterated, and Link still would have been hit. So, the
So
Triforce of Courage
anything
made
I
it so
have,
she
I
couldn't
have like counter guard, but that's basically like a disarming attack.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to disarm the
Cannot
Triforce of
disarm
Power.
him from the Triforce of
What the
Power.
hell?
However, I will mention he does have a large staff that
Oh,
you
yeah.
guys
Still have the
used
ETS.
before.
Yeah.
Is the ETS.
Could I use the Triforce of Wisdom to get him to drop the staff using like a counter guard sort of deal? I don't
I
know
would
if
have
that
a
even
hard
works.
time describing how the Triforce of Wisdom would give you that ability. If you
I
want to
don't.
try and disarm him, you can, but you need to be close enough to do it.
Yeah, that
Now,
would get me
if
into
anyone
melee.
wants to type !Pierre into
I
chat,
know that I can fly, but I don't know if that's the best option. I also couldn't
I
even
got
get to him this turn.
Yeah.
Like, so it wouldn't matter because I'm only able to get, like,
Jody, because I
within
forgot to
20.
roll it. Boole also has an initiative of 20.
20, cool. I'm gonna put.
Because that motherfucker can
I
heal
for-
us.
I forgot that he had separate initiative for like the past
He does.
20 sessions.
I also forgot, but I was like, wait, I took him out already. He's out.
The companion feat, I think, is one of the cooler feats that you can take. So,
You just hear me say random.
Hey Zolta, you
Thanks.
wouldn't happen to have
Cutesy
taken the
voice, it's the
companion
cat's
feat
fault.
for Larry, Gary, and Jerry, would you?
no, she has a summon.
Spoilers,
boon that she can use to
they're
do that.
actually
Yeah.
dragons.
You know what?
I'll also say, like, meta commentary, I am concerned about the giant battery of malice and taking out an entropic construct.
Who knows?
It's not
but
your
before we
entropy.
do that, Pierre, I need you to make a decision as to what you're doing.
All right, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go fly up and I'm gonna get over here. If I move to here, do I have? I'm not in a melee enough range, I don't think, to do anything.
Well, remember, the dark gray stuff is 50 feet above you.
Oh, this?
So if you go right there, you are literally looking.
Oh,
at
that's a
wall,
second
and you-
floor.
Yeah, this is the second floor.
I
Oh, look,
understand now.
stairs.
The stairs
is
lead
50
to the
feet up.
second floor.
Mhm.
What have you been shouting to us this whole time?
Yeah.
Oh,
lot of
so
stage
that doesn't make
whispers.
A whole lot of sense.
Rayak knows how to use his diaphragm.
Send my voice. Project.
I guess I'll
Sorry,
move
guys.
here.
I don't know what's happening.
You're good.
And I don't.
So I'm a bad guy.
Oh, Alex.
Not in his mind.
Yeah.
I am the savior. I'm the hero. Damn it.
Could you possibly use it to basically send a beacon to the other Triforce?
Careful what you wish for.
We know there's
One shot.
another fucking Link. He's 100 miles away. He might not get here in time. But he's clearly hiding from this crazy
Hundreds.
motherfucker.
All right, let's do it. I'm gonna try to do that with the Triforce of Wisdom.
Power in numbers. I am hoping.
And wait,
Um,
can I also then at that point, can I use like a pre-science thing and try to
Can you reach
like
out with
communicate
pre-science?
with him?
Triforce powered pre-science.
So,
He whispered to me with science.
prescience is one of the extraordinary abilities linked to the Triforce of Wisdom. So, if you would like to roll a wisdom check, you can increase your wisdom score by 4 to make this particular check, or your prescience score by 4 to make this.
So this is
particular
gonna
check.
be a 10 here. Before, not disadvantage, just the score is now 10.
Yes, I actually don't know what your prescience score is. Right
Is that
now.
It was
46?
6? So yeah, so
It
that'll
was
turn
6.
it into a 10.
Yeah, so it's 40. My dice now is 48 for that.
Which
48.
I don't believe you actually can get a 10 as a player without some sort of
Players
bonus.
can't. No, only
Probably.
bad guys.
Okay.
It's too bad that Brea
You know, when the
obviously
bad
doesn't
guy
have a 10
isn't a
in anything,
player.
right?
I'm gonna drop 5 legend points into this.
Go for it.
Because this seems like this is gonna be big, and I am ready for rerolls.
Jody, I sent you a quick message in chat. Can you just
Oh, thank you.
thank you?
37.
Oh, I also put one in roll 20 for you.
And for confusion, I put one in Discord for you.
Excellent.
I sent
Well,
you an email.
I had one in Zoom
I
for
sent you.
him
I
earlier.
sent you.
I did
sent
too.
You,
I
a
contacted
telegram.
you on AIM.
The Pony Express will be there any day, Jody. The Pony Express will come in any day.
Yeah.
Oh, Jody, mine is on MSN Messenger.
Does anyone still have ICQ?
I never had
Oh,
it. It was the
Do you
one
know?
I never
So-
used.
37.
damn. My
Thank you,
heart's
Sherry,
just
for that idea.
melting. You're welcome.
Come on. Okay, so let's start with Pierre. What did you do?
So I am trying to just reach out to this other link
Okay.
and go, hey, we could really use some help right now. We need you at the castle. And it's very important. That's all I.
You are cordially invited to come help save
SOS.
the world.
What?
Please RSVP.
WYD question mark? Need you at castle.
Yeah.
I'm just saying you do this
You up?
Exactly. A booty call. A link booty call.
Oh my
D-
god.
Damn.
DTF,
Hey, hero of time, you up?
the Lord of Power.
You know, it's basically the 100-year
That'd be like
equivalent of 2 a.m. for him. So
DTK.
Oh, I was gonna say DTFU,
DTFU?
which would be down to fuck up the Lord of Power, man.
So, Pierre, as you kind of
Shit's
connect
fucked, get to
with
castle.
the Triforce of Wisdom, you instantly feel kind of your mind expand. You watch as everything gets smaller and smaller, and you have almost an out-of-body experience where you see the entirety of Hyrule. Your mind
Oh, shit.
instantly travels to the Shrine of Resurrection, where you can see Link as the shrine is closing on him. And suddenly, that aspect of the Triforce is flicked out of existence. But suddenly, your view doesn't change, like you're still stuck there for some odd reason. And you suddenly see your view pitch over to a woman, long golden hair,
You are now.
scarred various places, but you can feel the same source of power inside her as Princess Zelda turns to you. Says, I don't know who you are, but he can't help you.
Can you?
I will do what I can. And you watch her kind of focus. And your vision changes again. You go north. You think you're going towards the castle, but you suddenly skew to the east. You see a large forest with a giant tree in its center. You get closer and closer. You see a stone with a symbol of a Triforce and a single perfect blade stuck into it. Your hand feels heavy. And as you look down to see the Master Sword in your right hand, that's where we end your turn.
Fuck, man.
Oh shit! I pulled the Master Sword.
I couldn't come up with another thing.
That
'cause
took
Link
a
can't
lot
help
less.
you.
That
He's
took a lot less
weird.
hearts than it took for Link.
Yeah.
Oh my
Well,
god! You gave
He used
me
a Triforce.
sword.
I've given him a little break.
No,
I
yeah.
Oh my
have
God, I
all
got a
of
sword.
The freaking...
I will say, just
You know how to
to
use
make
swords?
this seem cooler, as you hold the sword, you feel it kind of very heavy, and so it's a good hand and a half handle. So you kind of hold on to it, and you feel something shift, and you feel it pull apart, and it turns into two shorter daggers for you.
Oh hell yeah! Does it
Who
still have
says
the
the
cool
Master
little
Sword
like?
has to be a sword?
Does it still have the cool like the design of the Master
Yep.
Sword just in a dagger form?
Yeah, just
Oh,
a little bit
hell
shorter
yeah.
and better balanced.
Do we think that
Hell
the
yeah.
energy transfer staff is really the master staff?
Okay, that just sounds
If,
dirty.
anyone that looks it up, you can see the top of the ETS does have the hilt of the Master Sword in it.
Oh, that's fun.
That's what she said.
Rel did not make that
Quick
comment.
mechanical thing. Anything I should know about what the properties of this like these new daggers can do?
We're gonna play it by ear, but bare minimum.
Okay.
Let's say you have advantage 3 on any attack rolls you make with them, and if you
yeah.
want to go
Was that
fancier than
about
that,
to
we
be
can
a
go with that.
sneeze?
So I'm gonna update my double dagger
Jax,
to
what
advantage
was that?
3.
So I hurt my thumb in softball, and I had to wipe my
Oh,
mouth,
no.
and I extended it. So
So not a
no.
sneeze.
that was a grimace of pain.
Sorry, it looked like a...
Went from cute to not cute. Yeah. Aw.
Sorry.
Oh,
So that
so
being
cute, I just
said-
now feel bad about it.
Next up is actually Kess. Kess, you have just watched.
Can I
Pierre
interject because
just
they
kind
did
of-
do something? Can I do a villain thing?
You
Can I
don't
do a
get
villain
your,
thing?
You don't get your boss edge moves until your turn.
Ah, it's too
Yeah,
bad.
that's the only thing. But it does mean since you are effectively
Once he goes,
last
he's gonna go
in
like 3 or
initiative,
4 times in a row.
You have a boss edge of 7, so you will have your turn and then
Y'all, we're gonna
7
just
more
Seven.
actions.
Yeah.
7 in the... Oh, Jesus Christ!
I'm Magikarp, but I'm about to Gyarados you guys so hard right now. Just you wait till I level up.
Oh boy.
This
So,
is magic.
boy.
Yes.
This
Yes.
is Magikarp? This is-
You just watched as Pierre goes forward, and you see him kind of extend his hand towards the Triforce, and then you watch him pull out the Master Sword and then split it into a pair of daggers
Okay, that's fucking cool.
and get into a fighting stance. What do you want to do?
Top that.
Cass is gonna walk up to the Triforce.
I have to mention what Lex just put. My God, Jody gave the Master Sword to the dumbest bird in Hyrule. Amazing.
But it
Sorry,
looks-
Kiri, go ahead.
No, it's fine. Is going to walk up to the Triforce, gently put a hand on it, and invoke the wisdom of the goddess of Naru, simply
Okay.
asking, "Show me the way to save them."
Make me a logic check. Add 4 to your logic score. I'm going to assume that'll bring you above 10. You can't go higher
It will
than 10.
indeed. Oh,
So,
damn
yeah,
it!
10 is where it maxes. Because there isn't
Alright.
anything higher than 10 in open
I
life.
was like, that would have brought me to 11.
Turn it to 11.
I don't
but-
think...
but
I'm not sure if the program
this one,
would let you
this
put
one
in
goes up to 11.
God,
I know,
Alright.
Final tap.
I know it stopped at 10, but this Kess one, this one goes up to 11. No, all right, where are my legend points? Oh, oops, shit. I
Final
did
tap
that
was
wrong.
great.
Sorry, hang on. I almost just changed Bool's and not Kess's. That is incorrect.
Now again, this is not a permanent change. It's whenever you invoke the Triforce, you will use.
I know.
You'll add 4. So just to clarify for people, there's a way to actually change a specific roll to use a higher number, but it involves creating a special roll for it, and I didn't want to deal with that. So You can do that in roll 20.
I'm just gonna straight up use 10 for this because this is just about I want to save people. Show me how to save them. Are you kidding me? That's a reroll.
Oh, that's dangerous.
That's gonna be a reroll. Hang on, sorry.
Our standards for roll numbers are in this
sorry.
fighter, so
Yeah, for
whatever
chat,
reason,
she got
roll
a
20 is
39.
sending. Roll 20 is sending whispers to the wrong people. So very, very quickly, Ilea, the answer to your question is yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, hang on.
well, thank goodness it was a yes or no question.
49, fine.
It was
Is
39
49
before
good
you
enough?
guys.
Yeah,
Is 49
so
okay?
as
'Cause I
you
can use another
focus
reroll.
on this, you look into it and you suddenly see the form of the most beautiful woman you've ever seen ever.
Oh,
It's Zolta.
Yes, it's Zult. As you kind of look at this embodiment of the goddess, or one of the goddesses, you see her in your mind's eye kind of come forward to you and just gives you a hug. And as you're sitting there, you feel Bool leave your shoulder for a moment. And suddenly you feel something creeping across your skin. And as you look, you can see metal plating going down your arm, encapsulating your hand, going across your chest. You feel something go across your head as a visor comes down.
Iron Man?
And Bool has
No.
transformed into a suit
Damn it.
of armor.
In ring. No, I'm joking.
Kiri Kess has become Samus Aran.
Jody's just making every one-shot cannon.
Prophecy has been fulfilled. Am I able to ask her a question?
Sure, what would you like to ask?
Is there really no other way to save them than to spill more blood?
You see a slight smile. You know the answer. And she goes away.
No, I don't! Why?
You get the idea that in asking the question, you've answered it yourself. Only is a very limiting term. There's never only one answer to anything.
Tess knows this very well.
You say that, but sometimes I think I have the answer, and then Jody goes, I never thought of it that way. And I'm like, oh, I thought that's what we were doing. Half the time when I think outside of the box, I think I have figured it out. Nope. Found a secret
Oh,
doorway.
this is tip for
Break the
dungeon
dungeon.
masters and game masters out there. Once you get comfortable enough with your players, stop coming up with solutions to problems. They will come up with something much better than
That's fair.
anything you could have come up with.
That is
What does that
unfortunately
armor
horribly
do
accurate.
for me?
All of your defenses are increased by 5.
Are we talking flat shoulders or ball shoulders here?
It's up to you. I will say, in the remake of Prime, when you first land on the station at the beginning, those knees could kill someone. Like these massive spikes on
Basically
her boots.
daggers, yeah.
Beyond
Close
that,
combat, Cass.
you effectively have an Iron Man armor. So going forward, come up with ideas, and I will come up with ways for you to roll for them. But you asked for protection. You now have protection. And because you asked to protect all of them, you're relatively certain that you can find ways to extend this protection. But
Okay.
that's what you asked for. So
I mean, I was actually asking about the worlds,
sure. And
but they
this
are part
is
of the
your
world.
solution.
So that's
Protecting
good.
us is protecting
Again,
the world.
you asked for protection. You now have
I did.
protection that you can use in various ways.
You guys,
How you choose to
Naru
use
gave me
them.
a hug.
Ah.
How you choose to use them is limited by your own imagination. That being said, I believe Zulta is next because Arel said Zulta will go first.
So Zolta sees her wife become armored and protected and have this moment and goes up to the Triforce of Wisdom and notices that the symbol on it matches the birthmark on her hand. And thinks back on her life and what it could have been, and that this could have been where she actually had a true connection to something like this and could have used it, and realizing that because of assholes like Jael and Brayak and people like that, that this is not for her. She is not part of this, but her lovely wife is the embodiment of wisdom and dedicates herself to protect and defend Kestrel in this battle and raises a barrier of entropic energy in front of her.
Yes!
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
It's a weird time to renew your vows, but all right.
I'd be about to die.
Go ahead and make a resistance boon roll with just an entropy roll.
Girl looks over expectantly.
I will say, because this is invoking a boon, it's not an attack roll.
Yeah.
And if you'd like to multi-target it, you can. It's I believe it's a disadvantage. I want to say it's disadvantage 3 for each additional.
Yeah,
target.
except I do have that multi-target boon specialist I've never used.
Okay, so yeah, that would offset it. So if you'd like to kind of protect more people, you're welcome to.
Oh, this is so much growth for Zolta.
We love this for you, though.
Despite
All it took was a Triforce.
despite what felt like years of being convinced Aruna's not smart, Zolta knows that he is wise, and therefore he will be the other one protected.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay. Adding
He's very
advantage
smart.
to
We've
this.
absolutely talked about many technical creations.
Runa is certain
Oh,
kinds
yeah.
of smart.
So what am
Correct.
I rolling for this? Let's look.
Light up entropy.
I think honestly, where Aruna's quote unquote smarts might fail him is social, and I don't think Zolta of all people should really be criticizing somebody's social skills.
Oh!
Zolta knows the rules. They only
Love her
come
dearly,
into effect
but-
with certain levels.
Fails.
Now we see with the second, I'm using an advantage. Doing this by hand because Roll20 hates me. Haha! Oh, I got 2 crits on that one. I have 3d8,
Oh.
but I only have 2 that I can roll at a time. So those are. I'm going to use that advantage. Okay.
Exploding dice is so fun when you're rolling physical dice.
Okay.
Why I like Roll20.
It's-
It may not be the greatest as far as rolling nice for me, but it does all the math.
Yeah.
So we'll roll the 2
I
that
just added all the
exploded.
3D dice so I can like look at it all.
Okay, so with the 2 that exploded, that's 15 and 12. So we're looking at 48. And I used 1 advantage.
48. Yeah, that's enough to what's your entropy power level?
8.
So I have to look at the boon real quick. So I don't think you can actually invoke it using entropy normally. But
Well,
use-
I technically said I was making a barrier.
if you'd like it to be a barrier instead, the barrier itself will just be a static wall, whereas
Yeah.
resistance would be applied to a person.
This is very much a wall in front of her, because I
Okay.
know that he's been watching this and he's going to be attacking. So now it's in front of Aruna and Kess.
Okay, well, in that case, you get to for the barrier boon, you get to choose for a power level 8. 7 is as high as you can do. Choose 3 properties: damaging, obscuring, hindering, baneful, mobile, impassable. Do you know what most of those mean?
I'm going to tell you what I wanted to do, and you tell me
Sure.
what I'm invoking.
Cool.
If he attacks them with entropic energy, I want it to not hit them.
Okay.
That's
So-
the main thing.
That'll be impassable. So you're creating a physical barrier of entropic energy.
Okay.
Because he is 50 feet above you, you're going to need to kind of slope it a bit, just so it gets high enough for him to get it. But that is one of the 3 properties you can add to it.
I assume damaging means when you touch it.
Yep, it does a D10 of damage.
It would be really fun if he tried to hit it with entropic energy and the energy just like did a face flick.
I'll
at
say
him,
that's a
but-
little beyond your power.
Yeah. I'm just saying. So I'll do obscuring.
Okay, so that means you can't see through it now.
Oh.
It is completely solid.
Oh, I'm gonna choose mobile,
Mobile.
instead of that, because that means it can move, right?
You can spend a major action to move the barrier up to 30 feet.
Great, we're gonna do that. What does
Okay.
Baneful do?
It means choose a Bane, which you can inflict that has a power level less than or equal to the power level of your barrier. When a creature ends its turn within the barrier or willingly enters it, you may immediately make a Bane attack against it to inflict the chosen Bane. Creature can only be subject to one such Bane from this barrier per round.
Okay.
So-
So I'm gonna do persistent damage as that.
Okay. All right.
And I'm going to shout out. Well, not shout. I don't want him to hear it, but Tess is next to me, and Aruna's not that far, so just loud enough for Aruna to hear. Don't touch the barrier.
Okay. So you guys watch as Zulta comes forward, extends her hand, and you watch as the energy that she has used to attack and drain so often is formed into this barrier that she just keeps raising and raising, and now there is a wall in front of you. If you want to, if you go into Roll20, there's a thing that says draw shapes. It'll let you draw rectangles. If you want to draw a rectangle to kind of simulate the barrier, since you're going to be able to move it, once
Yeah.
you do that, you can actually move that rectangle around. So if you want to do that, let's say, just to use easy stuff, you can make it, let's say 6 squares long.
Okay. And I'm just writing in Roll20 the 3 that we decided on, so that's clear since we talked about quite a few. Drawing time. 6 squares long, you say?
Yep. So while she's doing that, Arel, you are up.
Oh, that's a bad
Did
thing.
you? I whispered back to you in Roll20.
Yes. Yeah, I saw.
And you saw it? Okay.
Yep.
'Cause
Okay.
apparently other people saw it too, and Roll20 wasn't working the way I wanted it to. But
Oh, that's okay. I don't mind.
I actually don't even know how to do private messages even in
Forward
this
slash
stupid-
W space and then start typing the person's name. Okay. So I take it that there are some shadows up in this area that I can see.
yes, there are shadows. Like the whole place is kind of full of shadows. However, one thing I will say that you notice is that the Lord of Power has no shadow.
Okay, that's fine. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have Arel shadow step.
Okay.
Up to about
Now-
here. Yes.
Your shadow step is limited to 25 feet, and it is 50
What?
feet above you.
What power level are we at? Because I thought it was
Uh,
the
So
same
you're-
as my movement speed.
yeah, you're. Have you increased your movement?
No,
it's five.
I was
it's
gonna.
5
I was
times
gonna
your
move.
movement.
Yeah, I was gonna move. It's
No,
five
it's
times
5
my
times your
movement.
movement score. So the actual movement extraordinary ability, the way
Yep.
that you, the way that we did it is we actually gave you what's called boon access as a feat, and we gave it to you at level 5. So that's where the 25 feet goes. However, your stabby bits can act as a starting point. So if you throw a stabby bit up there, you can shadow step within 25 feet of your stabby bit.
But my throwing a stabby bit is a major action.
Yes, it would
Correct?
be.
All right.
So it'll take an extra step, but if you want to shadow step up there, that would be how you would need to do it. Otherwise, you can also run up walls.
I know,
think we've
but
forgotten
I
that that's
I
a
know.
thing you can do.
No, I knew that one. But the problem is the distance
Yeah.
and where I
There-
want to go.
There was a reason why I made it 50 feet up. Like that is supposed to be an obstacle you have to overcome. So
Rude.
it's what I'm here
To be rude.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's see. No, because then I still can't get up there. No, because I still can't get up there. Oh, that only gave me more questions and issues. Dang it, you took away from the coolness.
Imp
Darn.
did just come up with a lovely callback. Do you want
Oh.
Aruna to throw you again?
Yes, as a reminder to everyone, remember we
Constantly.
can give people assistance.
Yeah, we have a special rule where everyone once per turn can make an assistance to another character for free. Normally that would cost your action. I just give it to you guys for free.
So what would that assistance be?
How high up is it?
50
50
feet.
feet?
Hey, babe. My love, my friends.
Yes.
Do you know how far my hook shot can go?
No.
60.
Get me there.
I would like to give Arel assistance. Even if it's
Okay.
just handing you temporarily my hook shot and basically be like, bring it back.
I mean, technically,
Oh,
you
you're
only
never
have
gonna
to
see
get her
that
about
shot again.
halfway, right?
Yeah, if you'd like to, the hook shot right now is attached to your gauntlet.
Okay, so if it's
So
attached
you-
to me, then
well, you
I'm going to
can-
have to
You can
just...
take it off. You can take it off.
Okay.
too. So you just kind of bring it back.
Actually, hang
Analog
tight,
grapple
because
beam.
I also have a hook shot.
What?
She
forget?
stole one from her
Wisdom.
self.
Oh,
Yep.
right.
I will say it's not as good at as Kess's is. She effectively has the long shot, so your version only goes about 30 feet. Yeah, Kiri specifically has put a lot of time and effort into kind of improving her hook shot, so she has the best version of it.
Yeah. I was
no,
just
Imp,
trying
I
to-
don't have two. I have two daggers, I believe. I do not have two hook shots.
Yeah, I took the
At
other
one
one
point-
back.
I think at one point we were thinking about trying to give you like dual claw shot kind of things, but
We were.
you never did that. So
I did not. I have climbing gear.
So if you want to use her hook shot, you would basically be able to use your
Oops.
movement to move 60 feet instantly. That's how her hook shot works. So, and then you could just kind of toss it back down to her to give it back.
Okay.
So that would basically what I would say is you could move from where you are to the first line on the balcony, anywhere up there.
Okay. And that would be both of my actions, or that's just considered my
That's
movement?
just your movement.
Okay, perfect. Yes, please.
Okay. So you watch as Kess takes her hook shot and kind of tosses it to you. You aim. You get up there and you kind of toss it back to her, and she catches it on her gauntleted arm.
I would just
Cool.
like to say this was also a huge growing moment for Cass. I don't think she's ever handed
Parting,
off her hook
parting with
shot
her long shot.
Yeah.
ever.
I don't think she's ever called her real love either, so.
Sorry, that was also me just talking to you as Trax.
Dang it!
Because I had a moment of going, hey, wait a
So-
minute, I can help you with that.
Arel, what would you like
Yep.
to do now that you're up there? You've used
Yay.
your movement to get there, so
Yep. So then I can use my shadow step because that's a
I
minor
believe Shadow Step is also
action.
supposed to be because it's a teleport boon, and I believe since I have the boon list open, I'm actually going to look it up. But I believe that takes your move as well. But I might be wrong.
It's a minor
Yeah,
action.
Invocation time, one move action.
Okay.
So you can't Shadow Step as well.
Okay.
'cause you've already
Then
used.
I'm just going to turn into Shadow Arel.
Okay, and so Kess, as you watch her kind of go up, you see her get up there, and she just blindly tosses it over her shoulder, And as she does, you watch as her form starts getting darker, and you watch as shadows just slowly kind of melt over her form, and she becomes a being of pure shadow.
And that is all I can do.
All right. That brings us to Aruna.
This barrier is a solid wall, right?
Yes.
Okay. I have a couple questions. Am I able to touch the Triforce from a diagonal square
Yeah,
adjacent
sorry,
to it?
I didn't set it exactly where I wanted it. So
Oh.
Okay.
there.
You should theoretically be able to move it.
Yeah, I just did.
Okay. Yes, you can touch it from a diagonal square.
Okay, then that means I can do an adjacent as well.
No, you can only do a diagonal.
Oh, well, okay.
Oh, I should mention, the smaller rocks that only take up about a 5-foot space, those are roughly about kind of waist height to most people. So if you crouch behind them, they would give you kind of full cover. The big ones, like this one here, that's like a 10-foot high rock, and you can hide behind it if you need to.
Am I able to travel over the smaller ones or no?
You're big enough, it won't be too big.
Great.
You vault over it. Call it difficult terrain for a single square.
Okay. I'm going to... Okay, and then my second question. The first thing that the Lord of Power did was put some sort of entropic barrier around him or on him or something?
Say that one more time. Yeah, you saw him just basically create this barrier of entropic energy around him that seems to be bolstering his defenses.
Okay. With a tear beginning to stream down his face out of joy, he goes over to this side of the Triforce. Everything he's ever read or heard about the Triforce, invoking its power, and you have to be touching it. So he places one hand on the Triforce of Wisdom, trying to channel its energy into the physical energy that he produces with his bombs, and just sort of mutters to himself, "I've always wanted to try a Triforce bomb."
Oh my god, I love him so much.
And just trying to, like, from one arm to the other, right into the Blast Basher, trying to shoot a Triforce energy powered bomb just square into this guy.
Okay. I will say Triforce of Wisdom generally doesn't work in that particular. It's not like a supercharged power source. It's more of a Triforce of Power thing. But if you do attempt to use the Triforce of Wisdom to invoke into your bombs, go ahead and...
Just trying to use its energy, just general energy in general, yeah.
Okay.
Not any, like, aspect of the wisdom in particular, just...
I would say,
Yeah.
like, the raw energy itself is not... You wouldn't have the understanding of it well enough to be able to invoke it in that way. If you want to effectively make a request of the Triforce of Wisdom, you can do that. Like, effectively, everyone else that's used it has made a request of it, which is kind of how the Triforce works.
Sure.
Because Wisdom is not magical power incarnate, it doesn't have, like, an energy source you could harness into a bomb.
Yeah, I mean, if just touching it does nothing, I'm just going to try to, mentally will it or request to power up my bomb with its energy. That's,
Sure. Go ahead and make me... I guess we could call it, you could say a presence check, a will check. Do you have a particular skill that you think would make you better at requesting something from a deity? I'll let you choose an attribute if you have a better one.
Do you have a skill that you think would make you better at requesting something from a deity?
Out of the ones you listed, I do have a decent will score.
Okay.
and I am trying to just will this to happen. So,
Sure.
all right. Okay, hang on. How many? I want to. Let's go. 4 legend points with this.
Go for it.
Please. Okay. Please hold.
You hold.
So, if anybody's ever thirsty, what's a great product to get, huh? Anybody
I'm
have
glad
an
you
idea?
asked.
God.
Number 3.
Vomit.
You know what? That's so much better than this glass container because I can't take this outside the house.
Yes,
What
you
if it
can.
drops?
You guys.
While we're also waiting, remember that you can give us legend points and rerolls and fairy heals. Not done.
You can also
for
give me
all of
those. Just
these.
saying.
No, not done.
I'll also say too, if you want to see some cool people or listen to some cool people talk about Nintendo Direct, I was on a podcast that came out yesterday all about it.
Okay.
I was
so
on the first React video.
I had to use
about
a couple of rerolls. Right. My first one was a 17. Second one was first one was a 15. Second one was a 17. And then the one I'm keeping is a 51.
Hey,
So as you
What a
sit
jump.
there, kind of focusing on this, you feel your mind start to expand, and you start to understand the kind of inner workings of your bombs significantly better than you ever had. Any of the specialty bombs that you have, you can now combine them without additional actions or anything. Just as a single action, throw multiple bombs at the same time. Does that make sense, is what I'm saying?
Yeah, combine effects essentially.
Yeah, you can combine up to, let's say with a 51, up to 3 per action.
Well, great. So that essentially means I could use a hand bomb to do damage and then try to apply an up to 2 banes.
Yepers. All with the same attack effect.
Yep. That works for me. So as this bomb begins to glow of light energy, almost, like a power beam shot almost, I shoot a bomb, positioning myself to where I can just sort of like,
I will say, again, invoking the Triforce is a full action. So you
Oh,
won't
it
be able
is?
to make an
Okay.
attack this turn.
Never mind
Moving
then.
forward, you can
I did not catch that. Then that would be my turn. Do I have to be touching the Triforce every time I attack, or is that just
no,
powered up? my
going
bomb? Okay,
forward, you
great.
just have this ability.
Cool. Okay, then I don't think I have any extra movement, so that's me.
Cool. I missed Bool, but is there anything that Bool wants to do for their turn?
Oh,
Would
can
Ron-
Bool still? I wasn't sure if Bool still had initiative since he'd become my armor.
No, he's because you have a feat, he is still initiative, and you basically have a little probe version of Bool that can go around.
Wait,
and
Bull
just-
became okay.
Yeah, Bool is your armor.
Oh yeah, it's great. I basically have an Iron Man suit right now. It's fantastic.
I got that.
What? So he's basically a little probe right now.
Yeah, basically what he used to be still exists, but is also now connected to your armor and can speak to you.
It's getting out of hand. Now
Jarvis
there are 2 of
style.
them.
Now there are 2 of them, which means he has access to my inventory.
Yes, he does. I believe you should have a character sheet for him.
I do. I'm looking at
Okay, so yeah, you can use that. Any ability he would normally have. You have a second character.
Is Bool able to interact with the Triforce?
No. There does need to be you need to have kind of a physical form, and technically, while he does, he's a
not.
creation.
Yeah.
So I would say you need to have like a will, and Bool is still very much your automaton.
I would like Bool to run some crazy ass fucking logics for me.
Okay.
To just kind of extrapolating on current known knowledge. Would
Okay.
it be possible to infuse a great fairy heal with the Triforce, essentially making it an entity of healing wisdom? Specifically, wisdom, like basically a bottle of therapy and perspective.
Holy shit.
I would
Very-
like to assist.
I adore you.
Can I also assist
Everything-
somehow?
It's somehow not covered by your insurance, though. for whatever weird reason.
Yeah, for whatever reason,
God
you
damn,
have to
that's
go
crazy.
out of.
You have to
network
pay out of
for it.
pocket to do it, but you can do it.
You know what?
Um,
I think I can afford it.
If you roll high enough, I will make it in network. Go ahead and have Bool roll a logic check.
God, I hate that, but oh my god, that's funny as hell.
Absolutely
Roll for
am
HMO.
assisting.
Does
PPO.
Okay, and Bool has just his normal logic, correct?
Yes, this is because again the Bool can't invoke.
Okay.
I
can
do
you
like
use some
what
of my
Invisible
legend
Jazz
points?
said. Assist? I would like to invest.
I'm gonna give him some of my logic. Not my logic.
We are not
my
just
legend
healing
points.
Hyrule, we are healing the world.
Dude, Naru's little smile there, man. I'm like, I knew it. Fucking knew it.
But can I help give Bool advantage on this?
Sure, every person that wants to help that hasn't already used their assist this turn gives advantage 1.
I think I'm the only one who's given an assist so far.
I don't think
Did I
I've
give an assist earlier? No, I'm
No,
top of
no
the
one
order.
else.
No.
No one else has done it. You
Okay,
guys forgot
I'll
you could
assist.
do it for a long time.
Okay,
I'll
so then
assist.
with the legend points I had added,
Okay,
that
you
brings
got
me up to 9.
Advantage 9 really isn't that big.
Go, Bool,
How
go. 56.
Woo!
Not a big deal, huh?
NBD, you know.
So your heads up display, because of course you have a heads up display, is
Because of course, yeah,
listing
naturally.
calculations.
Hello.
You think if you wanted to try and therapize someone with the Triforce. By the way, folks, if anyone is wondering, this isn't how therapy works. It's
No, it's
process.
literally because it's
It is
not
very good
about
for
it's
you.
not about giving someone therapy. It's literally about the whole point of the Triforce of Wisdom is
giving him perspective.
someone being able to give perspective to make the right decisions to
Yeah.
basically the order and law.
This
And I
is
feel
a
like
mystical
Brayax-
intervention.
Basic problem right now is he is power without wisdom, and I want him to see
So,
I'm sure he would
all
love
the
to
shit
have
he's
wisdom.
done.
so
And courage
just
as
as a
well.
disclaimer, this isn't how it really works. This is a fantasy game. That's all I'm saying here. This isn't a real thing. This is a fantasy game. Please understand, therapy is a very good thing. It requires a lot of work. You should put that work in because it will always make you better. However, in our magical fantasy world, you think if you want to do this, you need to find a way to get the Triforce and Brayac close enough that you could touch the Triforce and touch Brayac. Would you 100% think this is something you can do?
Cool. Thank you.
That
I was
being
kind of
said-
sad I couldn't make it like a therapy bomb, but
Now
fair.
we all get
Yeah,
to take.
there's gonna be some limitations here.
No, I get that. That's fair. That's fair.
Now we all get to take 7 Triforce attacks in a row.
The Brayac, Lord
So
of
was that
Power.
his major action?
that
Do
would
I
have
still
been
have a
again.
minor? Okay. sorry.
That would have been his action. So if he has any minor
He
actions
didn't
he wants to
invoke
do-
the Triforce though. He was running calculations. That's why I was
So-
asking.
The difference between a major action and a full action takes everything.
Okay.
Major action is just your action. You can still do minor actions and move.
No worries.
So if
Okay.
Bool wants to move or wants to do a minor action, they can, but that was their major action to give you that
Would-
knowledge.
Would pulling the Triforce closer be a minor action?
That would be a major.
Damn it. Okay, never mind. Thank you.
Good try. No.
I figured I'd ask.
All right, Lord of Power. You have your actual turn which is
Yes.
action, minor, and move. And then
Yes.
you have 7 additional actions you can take.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, real quick. I do want Bull to quietly disseminate that knowledge to the current party so that
Sure.
they're all like, hey,
All of you suddenly feel an earpiece appear in your ear. So you now can all talk to each other.
Ow.
Ah,
What?
jeez.
What?
I don't
Hello.
know where Aruna's earpiece went.
I've got a hole.
I don't know where.
I mean,
That is not the sentence I was expecting to hear out of that today.
Does
Holy
Zoltan have ears?
That's good to know.
I mean, you know, yeah.
hate it.
oh my
Oh, you're
god.
right.
Thank you,
I
legend
do.
points.
Wait. Jody, as a fish person, does Zolta have external ears?
Let's say yours is one of those induction ones where
Oh,
it goes
bone.
through your bones.
Okay.
Those are super cool. I've never used one, but they sound super cool.
They are super cool. If you ever have not a tuning fork, a tuning fork, you can hit it against something and just put it against your face and listen to how much it amplifies. It's really cool. You can actually do that with anything that vibrates and makes sound.
It's really cool.
It's really cool.
Tuning,
yes.
tuning forks are some of the coolest things ever. Like,
They are.
no one that's ever, like, we used to have people that came in to tune our pianos. But anyway, so we're going to start Lord of Brack. Or Lord of Brack. Lord of Power. Brack,
Lord of
whatever you want.
Brack.
Lord of
Lord
Bread.
of Break.
Let's start with your
Love
main
it.
turn, and then we can go for other things.
Okay.
What do you want to do with your main turn?
Let's get a whole bunch of beasties up in here, because I, as a GM, and I'm sure as a power-hungry person, know the action economy can work really against you. So let's get a bunch of beasties out here.
Sure. So, I think my original way I told you this worked was wrong, just because of how it works. You
Okay.
you can summon 3 at a time as a single summoning action without
Sure.
any disadvantage.
Lovely. So let's just summon elemental creatures. I'll just
Okay.
do that thing. All right. So
So let's start off with the first roll you have.
no disadvantages, no nothing like that.
Yeah.
First
So
roll
those-
is 39.
So that's power level
9.
9. So that means. And where do you want to put them?
Well, you know, I don't want everybody to be right up on me, so I'll say let's try to flank them all around them in maybe a equilateral triangle of sorts.
Okay, so we'll put one there. One there. One there. As you guys are watching, you watch as he kind of summons pure magical energy, and as he fires it to 3 spots, you watch as 3 elemental Linnells rise on the ground near you guys.
Oh
That is
boy.
your first action.
I know what to do with those.
Lovely.
Did you want to move or anything on your turn, or you know where you are?
I mean, I can overlook them, but I do still want to keep firing down upon them. So if I have some movement, I'll do that.
Okay. And now you have 7 more actions. I will say for your sustaining, you can sustain up to 4 things. Your barrier is one of them, and if you want to re-invoke it to try and get to the immunity level, you can.
Yeah. So let's do the invocation to get to immunity.
All right. So go ahead and you have to roll it again. You still have to roll.
Resistance boon again. Okay.
Yeah. You have to get high enough to get a power level 9.
What
Yes.
kind of
so-
immunity is that?
He's now completely immune to entropic damage.
All right. So that's 9
Okay.
for that. So that's number 1.
Okay. So you got
Let's.
1. And you can have 2 more groups of summons that you can keep sustained as well.
Well, in that case, yeah, why not? Life is short. Let's do another group of summons.
Yes,
for it.
yours will be.
I'm gonna name these ones.
It's 9 again. That's a
Okay.
31 for power level 9.
So I'm gonna make these. Red was your first summon, so
Sure.
I can keep track of them. Your second group of 3 Linnells. Where do you want these?
I would like at least some sort of like distance because I know they have AoE attacks. So let's kind of have these kind of separating the space between me and them. So how about just filter them kind of in the areas around, but separated.
Okay. So put like maybe one down here.
Yeah.
Let's let's put one over on the stairs.
That makes sense.
That makes sense. And then the last one, we're going to cut off their retreat. Bring it down.
Love it.
Cool. That is 2 actions. You got 5 more.
So much fun. I think fear. It just makes sense. It just makes sense, right? So let's try to invoke some fear here.
Okay. And again, with your multi-target, you can
Yeah,
do
multi-target
up to a-
specialist. I can do that.
You can do up to a 3x3 area to do that in. So
And are they all sort of clustered together? Let me double check.
yeah, you can get all of them if you want to try that.
Do it. All right. So that roll was 24.
And so fear is going to be versus your resolve. So everyone except Arel, because she's up there and you can't. She's away from everyone else. Does 24 beat your resolve?
Unfortunately, yeah.
So you're now inflicted with the fear bane.
What is?
So
I'm
on its
assuming that
turn-
means we cannot get closer.
We spend our time trying to get as far away as possible.
So I'll read it right here for you. On its turn, the inflicted target
Slightly
must use its
OP, yeah.
entire turn to get as far away as possible from you. It cannot use its actions to do anything other than retreat, and it cannot willingly move closer to you while the bane persists.
How do you get to reroll against it every time?
The way that banes work in general is you can use your movement to make a resist roll against it. So at the start of your turn, you can sacrifice your movement to make a resist roll. 10 or higher, it's just a d20 roll. 10 or higher means you save. If not, you have to use your action to dash. Does that make sense? Or if you fail, you have to use your action to dash. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that was that.
So that's 3.
So since Arel is the one who's kind of dancing away, I'll turn towards Arel and say, "Oh, look, Arel, you get to be special for once." I'll go for a stunning boom. Sorry,
I'm
Bane,
always
stunning Bane.
special.
Okay. So go ahead and make your.
That was what stunned her, just the words.
Yeah.
So 32. I believe. Oh, it's versus toughness. So is 32 higher than your toughness, Arel?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So during the target's turn, they're limited to either a single major action, a single move action, or a single minor action.
That's fun.
She's not feared though, so that's not going to overlap. Okay.
Yeah, so that won't overlap. That's 4. You got 3 more things you can do.
I do want to give persistent damage to Arel.
Okay, so go ahead and make a persistent damage bane.
You got it.
Oh, where
That is 39.
Okay, so 39 versus guard, Arel.
It's.
So
Why do you have to
beginning of
ask?
your turn, you will take 2d6 damage.
Okay.
Interesting.
2 more.
And already gave her some persistent damage, so I will attack with a lightning bolt as well, because I'm pure power.
Duh.
So lightning bolt is a line. You can get from where you're standing right now. You can get Aruna and Kess, and then choose either Pierre or Zulta in the line.
Oh, I definitely want to get Zulta as well.
Okay. So go ahead and make your attack roll versus guard for all of them.
Sure.
And this is going towards whom?
Me,
Everyone but
Kess, and
you,
Zulta.
effectively. Yeah.
57, which I don't think anybody can beat, right?
Oh, I
Jesus
can guard
Christ.
against that. No, it's no problem.
So 57 versus you guys' guards.
50.
Whatever the difference is going to be how many hit points you lose. I'll let
I
you guys
have
keep
2
track of your
banked
hit
Great
points.
Fairies, so that's probably going to come into play.
Yeah. Does a great fairy work immediately?
57.
Yeah, if you have one already, you can just use it as
Fantastic, because that killed me.
Okay.
Oh my god, I have 1 HP. It
Oh,
didn't
but
kill
then-
me.
So
But
I
then the
forgot I'm
Great
getting
Fairy-
hit.
How does it
So,
work when the great fairy brings you back? I forget.
We don't use negative hit points, so if it brings you to 0, Great Fairy heals you from 0. So
Okay.
I'm-
Guess what? Boom, boom.
I'm so
Pretty
sorry,
much.
Jody. I was so busy in the main chat figuring out which of the main 6 from My Little Pony we would each be that I totally blanked out.
What?
Aruna's
57
Applejack.
versus your guard.
My guard. Okay, thank you.
And I'm not hit here?
No,
because
you
I
couldn't hit both of you
survived
guys.
the hit and it
Mhm.
was 10 over, I think I get a Bane too, right?
Yeah.
Because of how everything is working right now, I'm going to skip the additional Bane. Just because I want to see how this is balanced without that, because
Okay.
he's already doing a lot of damage to you guys.
Oh, we're
So,
fine.
Nothing against you, Don.
Tis but a flesh wound.
I'd like to see, at least on the boss edges.
Yeah.
I want to see, because I've already come up with some other things that the boss edge can do that makes it a little more powerful. So I'm going to see
Yeah.
boss edges you don't auto-inflict Banes on.
I don't mind. So after the first lightning strike hits, I'll go, I've killed you twice before. And I will strike him again with lightning. This time, who else? Did I miss somebody in that first original lightning bolt? Pierre,
You
I
have to
think, right?
choose between Pierre and Zulta. So if you want to hit Pierre, you'll miss.
So yeah, now let's flip that around and have it be everybody and then Pierre as well.
Okay, so Aruna, Kess, and Pierre is what this one is the target.
Yeah.
What are
Zulta,
Great
you're
Fairy
fine.
Heals?
Great Fairy Heals, the dice still explode, right?
Yes, they do. All dice explode.
Christ on a cracker.
That's one.
64 for the second lightning
At
bolt.
least I tanked the first one.
I'm out of Great Fairy Heals, but I am still.
It's 46.
Hey,
So
so
anyone
how-
in chat, if you would like, you can actually use your channel points, which we call rupees, to
Use
send
them.
heals and things like that.
That
to
this
the
way?
Players. It might be. I don't know.
No, it's the other way.
No, it's the other way. Okay, so you use them over here, guys and gals.
So
So
if
and
anyone
non-binary
wants to,
pals.
Flash
just click,
roll for.
just click on the rupees, and you can see there's red potion, blue potion, and fairy and great fairy heal.
Yeah, that was my only thing of healing. It was very helpful, but please.
So if anyone
Does
else wants to do that, you're welcome to.
question?
Th-
Great
Yes,
Fury Heal removes lethal damage.
yes, it does.
Oh, fantastic.
And
Oh,
the other
you're
question
right.
is, it's slash roll 46 2 exclamation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whenever you roll, if you want the dice to explode, just put 2 exclamation points after whatever your.
Okay,
formula
I
is.
have 19 hit points now after that hit
from
because
Imp in my head.
I died.
Take a great fairy heal, Aruna. From Imp in my head, take a great fairy heal,
Thank you.
Zulta. From Imp in my head, take a great fairy heal, Kestrel. From Imp in my head, take a great fairy heal, Pierre.
Yeah.
Thank
This
you.
is why I don't feel as bad about throwing stuff. And then take a great fairy heal, Arel. If you're at full hit points, you can just bank it.
Thinking.
Yes, Elias.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but if we go unconscious and come back from that, we come back without any banes, correct?
I think that's
Meaning
true.
we're no longer feared.
I think that's true.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because
I
yeah,
think
I
you're right.
I
I think I'm
technically
right, too.
died. Oh, thank
I
you.
did
for
too!
confirming.
Okay, fun
So-
fact. That took me to 0, and then the Great Fairy, I got enough 6s that I came back to full health, minus the 1 lethal damage.
No,
Wow. So you
literally,
healed
that's-
technically.
That's what happened with me. Is I died twice and was brought back both times to full health by the fairy.
I wasn't.
So,
Oh, that fairy did not bring me up full.
moving
but-
forward,
No.
Don.
I don't
you
have a
may
lot
wanna
of hit
choose
points. That's why.
carefully, because knocking them out does remove your banes from them.
Good to know.
Yeah.
But I'm not worried because I'm pure power.
Yeah. That being said, we have gone a little bit over time, and that was your last boss edge. So, unfortunately,
No.
Damn.
Does it have to stop? Is there time?
if I will ask if people need to leave. I do not want anyone to feel obligated. But if you want, because all of the kind of wisdom invoking has happened, if you guys can get your turns a little bit more time, I'm okay with going at least one more round. But I cannot speak for anyone else. If people have places they need to go, I don't want you stuck here. So,
I think.
so
I
yeah,
can go
unfortunately,
with
I just don't think we have the time right now.
Shoot.
Dang.
So
One more
yeah.
episode then.
Yeah, one more.
It's a nice round
anyway-
number, 110, right? It's a good way to end a series at 110.
Yeah.
Anyway,
even.
folks, that is going to be all for us today. As always, if you missed any of this episode, we do have all of them here on the channel, twitch.tv/Zelda Universe to the TV. You can watch the entire 109 episodes we've had thus far.
Oh yeah, and if you watch our weekly programming, you get more rupees to spend to help us next time.
So yeah, watch.
Yep.
We have programming. What we have 4 or 5 nights a week. What are we doing right now, Mr.
3.
Twitch Director?
Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we have cool stuff. Definitely.
Rupee is coming
If you
for you.
if you turn notifications on for the channel, you will get little emails to your inbox every time we go live. So definitely watch and interact with the other people too. We have some amazing hosts. Amanda is one of our hosts. She also does Zelda weekly on Sundays on the YouTube channel. I think Joshua is another one of our hosts who's wonderful and amazing. And our third host is it still Peyton?
It is still Peyton.
Yes.
Yes. So Joshua, Peyton, and Amanda all have segments that they do during the week. Watch the Zelda Universe Twitter for any changes in timing as far as when our next episode is going to be, because obviously people have lives. You know, we're going to do this the next time we can get everyone here. Otherwise, yes, it is all for me today. I'll see you guys next time. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.